Man, the Kickback episode 1.
Presented by your host, Isaiah Winfree, Mike Blakemore, Nick Hoffman. Yeah! Woo! Yeah, this
Man,
definitely.
help me. we
Ah,
finally, man. So look, I know it's weird because we did like 7 others, 6 others, but now we back at episode 1. We did after last episode when things went great with Mike as a guest. We all chopped it up afterwards, and we pretty much decided that we're gonna try and and make something new together, make something different together. I think that's fair to say, right, guys? And we're gonna
Very
make fun of
fair.
it. Yeah, for real. So yeah,
We
hopefully
both got two things going on that'll look really good going on together.
man,
So
facts. So we hoping this will come and be something really great and add to the show for the viewers and all that. We are at 26 out of 50 followers right now till we finally hit 50 and we do the drinking episode. So y'all keep sharing it, man. Let us get some more followers. We're gonna do that drinking episode for you. I promise you, we would not say anything that'll cancel us. Man, but let's get
We
right
need
into
any excuse to destroy our bodies. Please help
it. We
us.
do need any excuse.
yeah.
Let's get right into it, bro. Midterms are over, man. I don't know shit about who got elected. I know I heard about a sports player getting elected and didn't work out. I know Lebanon got a new mayor for a small amount of time. Uh, but man, it's been everywhere, and I have not paid a single lick of attention to it.
Yeah, so
Uh,
basically the midterms have been over for a minute, but there was a lot of people who had like reruns and stuff because basically when there's like you have to get over a certain percentage to technically win, and there was like an independent Democrat and a Republican running in Georgia.
Wait, what percentage
So
do you
like
need? Do you know?
I think you have to have like the 60% majority or some shit like that. I don't know the exact shit. I could look it up real quick, but it's just you have to have the majority of the vote. So, but if you're split it up like 33, 33, and 33 or something even close to that,
Yeah.
then you have to do a recount or a revote. So they make everybody hit the polls again like a few months later. So that's what just happened. I think that happened in a few states though, but Georgia was the big one.
Got you. Yeah, I.
Herschel Walker is the football player that was running in Georgia.
Yeah.
I don't know a ton about what platform he was running on. Pretty sure he was a Republican. But that man was a running back, and he played before the NFL discovered CTE. Who the fuck thought that was going to be a good idea?
Exactly, dude.
Was he tested?
People
He
thought
tested positive for something? Because I don't know nothing about no football.
no, he had CTE. He didn't test positive for CTE, but he's fucking got CTE. They haven't tested him for CTE, but
It's
he's
the
got that
brain
shit.
disease you get from.
He's all
I
fucked.
think
He's
you
all
get from having
fucked
too
up.
many. What's it
He used to
called?
like beat the shit out of his fucking like. He used to beat the shit out of girls and some more shit. He got some crazy shit.
If you ask my
There's shit that
neighbors,
fucked
that's
him up
just
though.
normal.
He was like, he's running as a Republican and he's like dead set against abortion. That's like his thing. But then his son came out. His son's like this gay black dude who's on TikTok. He's like a gay black Republican. That's like his thing. And he like came out and was like, yeah, well, my dad's actually had abortions. And then like these ladies came out like saying like, yeah, he's had abortions. He had an abortion with me. He paid for my abortion back in the '90s and shit like that. I'm like, whoa, fuck. Yeah, so he was
If
fucked
Trump
off
can
from the
change,
jump.
Herschel can change, bro. Free Herschel.
He was a token.
You know what would have been crazy? Didn't a wrestler win mayor somewhere like a few years ago? Was it Kane? Something Kane?
Dude, I believe it. I
Yeah,
100% believe it.
I'm pretty sure a wrestler. I'm gonna look it up. I'm pretty sure a
There's
wrestler
a
did win.
there's a 18-year-old black kid who just became mayor in Arkansas though.
What the fuck?
Yeah,
see that?
I hope he doesn't get lynched. 'Cause
Yeah,
he's
he
super
won't.
lynchable.
They're very close to Memphis. It's a predominantly black, like small country town of like a few
Hell
thousand
yeah.
people type shit.
Oh, dude,
But
it's
good
right
for
here in
him,
Tennessee, bro. Glenn Jacobs, aka WWE star Kane, was elected as mayor of Knox County, Tennessee.
I know what I found out today. I know what I found out. I found this out today, dude. So I taught at McGavick High School for 3 years, dude. And I found out today that Dwayne The Rock Johnson went to McGavick High School.
What the fuck?
Look that shit up. He went to Glencliff and then He went to Glencliff and then he went to McGavick, and then like he went to
get
some
some
place in
fact check.
Hawaii. Then he went to Glencliff, then Hawaii. Look it up, bro. I mean, yeah, look that shit up. He went to McGavick
We're looking at colleges or high schools.
High School, McGavick High School. He went to McGavick High School in Nashville.
Oh, McKinley High School in Honolulu, Glencliff, and McGavick High School in Nashville, Tennessee. Yep.
What?
Oh, that out today. Well, I'm like, why the fuck do we not? Is that not like common like knowledge around here?
There's apparently some like writer from Tennessee, from Lebanon itself, that apparently has wrote like shitloads of like country star songs. I can't even tell you his name, but like
Martina McBride lives in Lebanon.
I don't even know who that is.
Like, I'm a
Quick shout out to
redneck
Chet.
woman. That lady.
Hey,
I might be related to Oprah, but only just a little bit, and it's a really long story.
break it down.
500 follows, and we'll break it down to 500 follows.
It better be a real ass story, bro. Because now I'm looking forward to it. Now I'm gonna make like 400.
On God, yeah.
Accounts and follow this just so we get there and I can figure it out.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah,
On all the homies.
Goals. We have a lot of goals from our fake accounts, bro. But no, we was talking about CTE, and I thought you guys were talking about steroids. I don't know if you guys have seen the. Do you guys keep up with the whole Liver King thing? Of the bodybuilder?
Only the controversy.
So yeah, it's a bodybuilder. Mike, I don't know if you know who he is. He's a bodybuilder. If you look him up, you'll look at him and go, "That dude does steroids." He's a guy who like his entire.
You're talking about Liver King. Yeah. I'm sorry.
Yeah. So for
I was pulling up the stream. I'm off shit.
Oh, you good? So for the fans, bro, for the listeners, the Liver King is like this super ripped dude who tells everyone they have to eat like animal livers and raw animal parts, and it's gonna get you just as ripped as him.
And balls, bro. I swear, testicles are a part of his diet.
Yeah,
no cap.
And there is
no kizzy.
He got outed because there's like 7 different things he's taking on a weekly basis and taking them like 3-4 times a day.
Nigga spending
I think it was.
What was it? I'm gonna look it up.
I think it's like $15,000 to
$15,000 a week. Nah, nigga, that was a week.
Is it really? Man, you know what's crazy? I would do steroids, bro. I ain't competing. I ain't trying to sell no body shit. Like, what's the worst thing to do with steroids?
I was way off. It's $11,000 a month. My bad.
Yeah. I knew a week was a little too much, man. A little too much. Would you guys do steroids, bro?
No, I don't think so. I don't even go to the gym. Like, I don't care enough about how I look. I barely ever go get a fucking edge up. Like, so I definitely want to spend money to put shit in my body to look buff. But like, if you're like The Rock, he probably needs to do that for his fucking roles and shit. He needs to look buff as shit. But the Liver King, it wasn't so bad that he did steroids because he's not a bodybuilder. He doesn't compete in anything. But he was like going out of his way to go on to different podcasts and be like, "No, I don't fuck with fucking steroids at all. I would never do no shit like that." He was like, he would bring the shit up, and then like he would bring the shit up. Yeah. And then it comes out he's lying about it. Did y'all watch his apology video?
Yeah, bro, it was the most mockery of an apology. Bro, Slick said that like, sorry, I can TLDR the whole thing. I ain't no bitch. I might have lied about it, but I didn't lie to your face. And that's his whole thing.
Who was the nigga that got the BBL, or the fucking? He looks like an action figure now. He got what's up, Blake? He looks like an action figure. He got a fucked up surgery. I want whatever that is. Fuck getting steroids. I'm just trying to look like G.I. Joe.
Man.
On like every day. They're gonna have to buy a Minecraft coffin to put me in the ground.
I'm trying to have people looking
like goofy as hell.
Specimen, but in reality, I took $11,000 a month worth of steroids, and now they think like the whole world has changed in their eyes. If we have the medicine to do that, why do we not have like shit that to cure like normalized diseases that everybody gets? But we have the medicine to make people like ripped as a motherfucker. Like
because, bro, they don't get rich. Doctors don't get paid from curing patients, bro. They get paid from selling you drugs.
Well, so look, I got a list of the greatest athletes who became politicians, bro. And I'm not.
Hold on, real quick. Can we just talk about what that would do to a human life cycle if they did invent a cure for like the cold, or a vaccine for the cold?
Do you think that
for population.
do you think that a vaccine for the cold is like possible? Well, we have flu vaccines, but like, isn't the common cold just
Nobody,
so?
yeah, it's possible, dude. Nobody would take that shit, so they wouldn't spend the money on it because like people are already like, they won't take a fucking. People just disregarded that we took vaccines our entire life until recently, and so now like people are gonna fucking. No, dude, they're trying to kill us. It's fucking crowd control or some shit.
Yeah, Isaiah,
Some smooth brain shit.
I so I'm looking at this list and I don't know a single person on
Mm-hmm.
here with the exception of Manny Pacquiao and Arnold Schwarzenegger.
Is Arnold Schwarzenegger an athlete?
Well, technically, yeah,
He was a
He competed in
bodybuilder.
the Olympics,
Yeah,
right?
yeah.
he was a like very successful bodybuilder.
Yeah. And Manny
Okay, I
Pacquiao
forget that.
apparently was
Yeah.
on the House of Representatives in the 15th Congress of the Philippines. Was reelected to the 16th in
Mm-hmm.
2013. That's
Mhm.
crazy news to me, bro. I had no idea. Oh, Fedor Emelianenko. You guys know who he is? MMA guy.
No,
Big old,
enlighten me.
big old MMA dude. Was like 31-1. Apparently, he became a politician in 2010. 5-year term. Oh, they're counting like deputies as politicians. That doesn't count. I'm not gonna count no Jake as a motherfucking politician. Got me fucked up. But that's the thing I was trying to tell you guys earlier. We was talking about dude was just hitting these females. Let me tell you about my neighbor, bro. So me and my girl
Okay.
just chilling, bro. We're just chilling at the house, and all of a sudden we hear banging on the door, pop, pop, pop. Right? I'm thinking to myself like, it has to be the cops, right? So I go look through the little peephole, right, and I see 2 cops there. So I dip, right. Where's my girl at? I gotta hide weed or do something, right? And so she's like, I'm gonna go look. Look through the fucking peephole, bro. And there's 2 of them just knocking on my neighbor's door. I live in an apartment complex, right? And there's only 2 of us on this side, on the top, knocking on the door, no answers. So like they leave. We didn't think nothing of it. Next morning, I see dude walk out his house. I'm like, hey, bro, the cops are looking for you. And he was like, yeah, I know. I saw them. I said, what happened? He's like, my baby mom was tripping. I had to put them hands on her. You know how it is. And I said, I know how it is. And we went about our business. So like I said earlier, sometimes it might be needed. That dude looked like he seriously had to put hands on his baby mom. I'm not going to sit here and say what situation was right and wrong. But damn, how many times you had to put hands on your homies, Mike?
I choose the type of friends that are usually don't have to get in a fight with.
You never once had like
You
a
know?
little altercation with your friends. It was like, all right.
Nah, bro. Swear to God, I've had fights with people that are like, I guess that I was cool with in high school, but it's not like we were like friends. Like I've been in fights with people.
That nigga talks like a certified regulator, bro. He's lying to us.
Yeah,
I
you
swear to God, bro. I hang out with probably y'all know my little crew of people, bro. We
He
don't be
just got
fighting.
done throwing the hands. He got the boxer jacket on.
My friends are big as shit compared to me. Me and Blake's my smallest friend.
Man,
And
don't
it's like
disrespect Blake like that.
I got some big ass friends with tempers and shit. I'm not finna fucking
Man,
no. We don't
he
get in a
not
fight.
running the ones with KickBaQ or Bam Bam.
Hell no, I'm not gonna fight K Big.
He said, does my son count? I'd be fighting that
Kick his
motherfucker.
ass in his knee. I'll kick somebody. I won't fight fair.
That's the craziest thing. I have a few friends who are like, I can't fight fair because I don't know. There's too many possibilities of what could happen in a fight. So they're just like, fuck it. I'm just going to try and kill the other person. I'm like, damn. I don't know if that's like a good idea. But you strike me as that kind of person.
Who, me?
Yeah.
I would never. Nah, I would. Dude, I'm pretty level headed. I would say like. I've gotten in a few fights in my life, dude. And I've never been one to like, I've never went to go meet somebody to fight or some shit. It's not like, I've never been on some shit like that. Like, all right, we'll pull up and let's throw hands then. Like, I've never been on no shit like, all right, then here, I'm on the way.
Yeah.
Like, I've always like, I'm defending myself. Shit like that.
100%. I think if anyone's got to defend themselves, it's probably going to have to be Chris Paul, bro.
Aha!
Chris Paul. Hasn't said a single word.
That nigga out here
bro.
catching.
Still hasn't said a word about his little what do you call that? Foray? Is it foray? Foray?
Yeah, no, foray.
Okay, his little.
I like your
foray with,
vocabulary.
I'm trying to expand, man. I'm trying to sound a little bit smarter, a little bit more of my race. not getting there. It turns out Italians don't have a huge vocabulary. But Chris Paul and the little Kim thing, man. How'd you feel about how all that went down, Isaiah? I know you were pretty.
I'm sorry, bro. Fucking, it's crazy because like they've been divorced for like a hot minute.
Yeah, we gotta move on.
That shit been dead. I feel like he just kind of dragged Chris Paul because nobody was fucking with him for siding with the Nazis. Not siding with the Nazis. Because Chris Paul was fucking his wife, bro. He doesn't get to pick. He didn't walk in on everybody she fucked.
Do you think that Chris Paul actually fucked Kim K?
All right, I was talking about this. Probably, bro, because Chris Paul to Kanye West is a big nigga, bro. Chris Paul is little in the NBA. He's little to me. I'm 6'7". I'm a large man. Chris Paul is not a large-ish man.
6'3", bro.
But to Kanye, he is. Yeah, to Kanye, that's a big man. He probably got that man a water after. That's why Chris Paul ain't said nothing, because he really bitched Kanye, and fucking his wife isn't that bad of a look, I guess.
All right, so look, let me put it this way: if you are, say you're not Kanye West, right? You're Isaiah Winfree, right? And you're Mike Blakemore, right? And you're dating / fucking Kim Kardashian, okay? And this is Kim Kardashian current, you know what I mean? Rich as fuck, all the extra shit going on, and you caught her cheating, right? Like, do you just leave? Can you leave?
I'm gonna kill that. I'm gonna kill that bitch. Nah, I'm playing with you, bro. I don't know, bro.
I don't have the ego to be able to. I wouldn't be able to even be in a relationship with her. I wouldn't have the ego to like have a bitch like Kim Kardashian.
What do you mean the ego?
I wouldn't be able to, like you can't handle that. It's gonna take a big shot on your fucking ego. You'd have to have a really good ego and feel really good about yourself to be able to be in that situation and know that like
Pete Davidson did it.
You're never gonna accomplish what she fucking did.
Yeah.
Pete Davidson didn't do it. He would never be able to stay with Kim Kardashian.
Bro,
he's just a guy.
Bash that Botox booty, collect your checks, and hang out in the cut till she tells you somebody else is up. Like, honestly, if I walked in on Kim Kardashian fucking somebody else, I would take that as just a very weird way to give me a pink slip. You're fired. Like,
he fucked up divorcing Kanye because now he's fucked off in the fucking head, and she's like, no one's gonna marry her. Who's like, so? No, listen to what I'm saying. You gotta let me finish saying it. Right. No one's gonna marry her. Who's like, who's that same caliber of people? Her caliber is gonna get lower and lower every time. I'd say the switch from Kanye to Pete Davidson was like a downgrade.
100%.
Oh, for sure. For sure.
And like Kanye, I don't even know why people still take him serious with anything he says. He's just fucking crazy.
If you ain't no punk, holla, we want prenups. We want prenups. Says the nigga paying 200 racks a month in child support, bro. That's crazy. Think about that. I'm saying, bro, that's 50 racks a baby, nigga. Which isn't that bad of a rate when you make that much money, but
what's your rate?
I think that Chris Paul is like a step up, right, than a Kanye. Is it?
Oh, for sure. Chris Paul is subjectively more attractive.
Kanye step up. If you're talking about in looks, but not in like in money, not back
in
whenever.
PR?
But does their
money not
matter?
In money.
Does their money matter as much?
Exactly.
As, say, like in our
bro.
Say right now,
it's just an entry ticket to them, bro. You just have to have it.
If Chris
Paul,
know
the Kardashians gonna have more money than you.
You know what I'm saying? Look, if Chris Paul got on Instagram right now and was like, "Hey, everybody meet up right here at this point in time," a few people would show up. So maybe
I think a lot.
A lot of people would just show up just to come see Chris Paul talk.
I actually
more than Kanye.
Chris Paul, I think, is like one of like the most beloved NBA players, right?
And respected.
Yeah, but nobody's going to see nobody's going to see Michael Jordan talk in like droves.
Because Michael Jordan is an asshole.
Yeah, Michael Jordan.
Okay,
I think niggas would listen to Chris Paul.
LeBron James. People aren't aren't fangirling LeBron James like fucking. They're not like attacking his car, stalking LeBron James like crazy in love with it. Like LeBron James and Chris Paul have never made a piece of art that's like hit at somebody's heartstrings. That's a different type of influence than fucking throwing a ball into a goal.
I see what you're saying.
Kanye was the biggest artist of our lifetime, even though he's fucked in the head. He's like the biggest artist. He's our Michael Jackson.
He is like.
But think about it though. I think her getting out is the whole payoff of the entire shit. Like, she got to experience being next to one of the most creative minds this generation had ever experienced. Mm-hmm. But she's not attached to that crazy forever. Yeah. Kanye said it. Name one genius that ain't crazy. And that man's crazy. Ain't nobody going to stay married to him. If Kanye wasn't married, if Kanye wasn't famous, he would still have problems in his relationships because he's a crazy person.
Yeah. But also, does a Kim K want a Kanye, or does she want a guy like Chris Paul who isn't going to be attacked by the media everywhere he goes?
I think she likes rich black men who make a lot of money and look good on camera.
She'll take it how she can get it.
The PR switch up from Kanye to Chris Paul is chiaroscuro, I think is the way you pronounce the word. It's the sharp transition from black to white. And it's exactly that. But except that was happening during his marriage. Like, that was a long time ago. They're not an item and probably won't be an item. I wouldn't be surprised if she pops out the cut with Drake, but 2 weddings from now.
Drake would never pop out with Kim Kardashian.
He hit Madonna, bro.
I don't think he could. I think he'd
Madonna assaulted Drake on fucking stage. That's what happened. She assaulted that man.
He did not look at
He only felt that way because what happened in the green room, bro.
She hit him.
She hit his.
She probably tore his ass up in the green room and came out there and kissed him after, and he was like, "Oh, you dirty bitch."
Yeah, he said. This did to me. Exactly my point. Like sticking your dick in a Gucci bag with lotion inside, like it's gross, all leathery and shit. It
reminds me of like, this is like a huge. I hope there's no kids listening. And like, it's late as fuck. Better not be. Better go to bed. If there's
where are your parents?
If you kiss a chick like after you came in her mouth, I think is the equivalent of what we're saying Drake kissing Madonna was like.
Why are you whispering?
I think the only
What's up?
I mean, yeah, but that was a weird way to say it, but yeah.
Kind of low key. I think that's how it is. I also think there's like a point.
No, I mean,
I wouldn't kiss Madonna, even if she like, no matter how rich that bitch is. I couldn't kiss.
Are you saying that Madonna, with or without nut in her mouth, is kissing her is like kissing a mouth that had freshly like swallowed 70, nut? Is that what you're saying?
Yeah, it's like kissing Reba.
And you think she just been but see, I don't think Reba been out there like Madonna been out there.
It's worse. She's like the Marilyn Monroe of music.
She's like the Marilyn Manson of music.
No, that's just
Marilyn Manson's the Marilyn Manson of music.
You guys see that?
Marilyn Manson.
I know we talked about it a little before, but you guys see that little? What are you guys' takes on the QAnon T-shirt thing? Now that I've got my whole view of it wrapped around.
Ain't shit gonna happen about it. For those unaware, there's a high school teacher in Lebanon, Tennessee, who I don't know. There was a screenshot of like a PowerPoint slide that was mad biased, and it coming from an educator was startling for a lot of people in the community. It was
It's one of those.
Yo. So look, before we go into it, because a lot of people jumped the gun on this, and it's gonna make everybody look bad. But the segment in class that they were doing over there was on misunderstood groups. So they did a slide that was produced by Black Lives Matter and one that was produced by QAnon. Like, they're showing their own slideshows and their own like sheets of paper that they have to fucking, well, not sheets of paper, their own slideshows and shit. They were comparing different fringe groups in America. And then somebody took a picture of that one and sent it out and made everything blow the fuck up. But it was like they were talking about multiple groups.
So
the student that blew the whistle said that their Antifa slide was just as biased in the opposite direction. Okay. Now, there's no like screenshot of that, but it sounds like that probably happened, but also that man filled out the rest of his work kind of thing, placed things in where they needed to go. Oh, I don't need to find a slide for this because I can make this slide.
Was
Wouldn't
it the teacher?
surprise
I thought it
me.
was a student slide.
No, it was a segment
No,
in class that the
no,
students
that
were
is a
discussing
state
on.
employee presenting that presentation.
I don't think
I
it's bad because they once they explain the context of everything, it sounds pretty reasonable. And like the chances of a high schooler lying about some shit. We went to Lebanon High School. Lebanon's got some of the shittiest people I've ever met in my life. I'm not gonna take the word of one high schooler that blew the whistle because nobody else from Lebanon spoke on it. There's no like big boycott or nothing. Nobody's freaking out about it. It's not on the news anymore. It's not even trending anymore because the only reason it was trending is because Scott Walters didn't put out a statement. And then he put out a statement and it's gone now.
I can't take Scott Walters
Why you-
seriously
Oh.
ever since I made that song about his name.
All right.
I can't take him serious. It's one of those things of like I hear his name and I just,
Hello, Scott.
yeah, that's all I think.
Yeah, I don't know. I'm inclined to not like. I don't know. I went to Lebanon. It's a crazy place, but it's like the fucking one kid saying something. You know how kids are with TikTok and shit. People overshare on everything, and they pre-share before like there's any information about anything shared.
Well, I guess
So like, me and Blake immediately looked into it, and we were like, I was just like, yeah, I don't think that's a big deal at all.
well, here's my thing, right? At what point do we go, okay, so sharing information on any of these kind of groups as an educator is too much. You know what I mean?
I
It's
don't
like-
think it's a too much thing, and I think a lot of people seek from the education system like an information is a thing. It does not side with one thing or the other. Um, it it is unbiased. Facts are unbiased, and I think more people want fact-driven education, especially with sensitive topics like that, than or as opposed to like biased presentation.
Mhm.
But I could be bugging.
I mean, I
I don't
get
know, I
what you're saying,
think
but like, I don't want
you
my
have to
daughter going to school.
go
So
ahead.
I don't want my daughter going to school and seeing like, I mean, as much as I'm like, Black Lives Matter is all right. Um, I don't really want to go into a whole spiel of the different problems of the groups, but I really don't want my daughter learning about QAnon in high school. You know what I mean? Like that's one of those things of like, I should probably have better things to be learning about at this point.
We were watching
It's a
Mexican
contemporary
beheading
issues
videos.
class, though.
We were yeah, literally, and we were watching Mexican beheading videos like in bridge math and shit in high school on the school computers. Like this shit's kids gotta learn. They gotta learn. Like you can't just be oblivious to the world. But like to me, this situation is no different than like a bunch of Trump supporters freaking out because two gay kids kissed in a fucking book that was like sitting in the back of the library, and they went and found like the one book where it had like two boys kissing, and they're like, go to the school board, and they're like, this is outrageous. Like this is like the equivalent of that on the other side to me. Cause like, who cares? Like honestly, who cares? Cause like the kids in Lebanon, dude, we have some of the dumbest kids in the state, like by test scores. You know what I mean?
Do we really?
It's not fucking. Yes.
I believe it. I'll be honest with you.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Wilson County's test scores are all carried by fucking Mount Juliet and Wilson Central by a long shot. And like Lebanon and Watertown are fucking crazy. It's bad.
I think it's.
But still,
I
I don't know. I don't think it's big enough to get a whoop over. I can see why somebody could be upset about it, but it's like I feel like kids are getting sheltered too much. I kind of need to talk about this real shit because like we were having damn near race wars when we went to Lebanon.
have an actual race war. Yeah, I remember.
Yeah, not damn near. Somebody threatened to lynch me walking down the street, bro, and I'm only half black.
Yeah, and I was
Yeah.
and I wasn't even on like the quote unquote right side. I was on the opposite side of the whites. That shit had me fucked up. Looking back, I was on the wrong side. Apparently, we won though. I guess.
It's just fucking.
But no,
I don't know.
I think would you you have a kid? Would you be cool if
Yeah.
if your child came home one day and was like, you know, I support QAnon because of this, and this reason I saw it at school. Like, what would your reaction to that be?
So that's like a loaded question because that makes it sound like one of those kids that was part of that presentation was going to be convinced to join QAnon by comparing different because they were described as fringe like organizations. So it's not like those kids are getting inspired to join it. So no, I wouldn't be like no. I don't think there's a single parent that would answer yes to what you just asked me. Like, would I be okay with that? No, I'd be pissed. But that's not what happened.
So what you're saying basically is they was putting it up there on the slides to be like, these are different groups. It wasn't like an entire slide about QAnon. It was like one single slide, and it's like, these are groups. We're just gonna go over each and every group. But my
we're going through groups. But we didn't. Nobody talked about slavery in high school and was like the white kids in high school. Even though like Lebanon's a historically racist town, none of the kids were like, "Man, I want to be a slave owner now. That shit sounds rad." Like it's not gonna influence anybody to join QAnon unless it's some fucking lame ass kids.
I feel like there were a few people in Lebanon who were saying they want to be a slave owner.
No, I don't. I don't realistically believe that there's anybody. Not realistically, bro. Like I actually fist fought a fucking racist my senior year of high school in front of fucking everybody. It was viral as fuck.
Name.
Y'all know him, Joseph King.
Oh shit!
Yeah, there was a huge video.
I don't know who that is, but he probably had it coming.
It was like the third day of school, and Blake was there. There's a video. I still got the video. Like, still, it was like I've been into it with a bunch of country dudes and shit.
Oh, regulator, bro! I told you at the beginning of the show, regulating that man.
There's a difference between like racism and ignorance. Like there's a lot of kids who go through that like the racist phase in Lebanon because they think it's cool, like having the fucking rebel flag and all that shit. But those same kids walk around saying nigga more than anybody. They want to be black so bad. It's just an ignorant city. It's like a bunch of juggalos walking around. Like the
fucking yes. I haven't heard the word juggalo in so long. I'm so glad I moved.
I hear every day. I'm
so glad I moved.
Shit. Like, there's literally actual juggalos here. People come into Marley's every day with the little juggalo hatchet man shit, and they had this shit tatted on them and shit. I'm like, bro, you're actually dead ass.
Besides stoners, obviously, that would go to Marley's. Can a gangster have nice titties? Someone asked in the comments. Yes, a gangster can have nice titties.
Yeah.
Nice titties aren't just for non-gangsters. What kind of
gangsters come in any shape and form.
Yeah, besides stoners, what kind of people do you have coming into Marley's? Like, is there a predominant group? I would imagine more left.
I mean, the predominant group is like stoners, but like the second most group you see more of is seniors, like senior citizens and shit coming in, buying the same shit, buying a bunch of, they're stoners too. But then like we sell a lot of that Kratom shit. I don't know if y'all are familiar with Kratom. But that's kind of like where the grifters come into play when they're coming in to buy Kratom. You can kind of tell who's gonna walk to the Kratom wall when they walk in the door. You can kind of get a good you're like, yeah, you're about to buy some Kratom.
I did Kratom once, and it was at a job. And my coworker was like, "You need to relax."
What? Tell me, what is Kratom like?
It's an opiate replicant.
For me, I was just awake, but like I'll never do it again because like I was stupid and was like, "Yeah, I'll take whatever you're giving me."
Yeah, no, it's supposed to help people get off of opiates. That's like the main thing. Like people who've been taking hydros or fucking popping Zans and shit, doing Suboxone, like all the whole shit. Like people get off of it with that, or like it helps you with withdrawals if you're trying to get clean. But a lot of people just like abuse that shit.
Yeah,
I've never met more Suboxone junkies than when I worked at Waffle House, bro. Shit's wild.
I didn't know.
Love this shit out there.
Still work at Waffle
House? I didn't know Suboxone junkies were
still working. My fault.
Yeah, but
I didn't know they were a thing until I worked at Marley's, and they're like, people coming all the time at Marley's, and like, yeah, man, I'm withdrawing really bad off Suboxone, man. What do I get? And I just fucking try and point them around.
Yeah, I couldn't imagine what it would be like working. I've always wanted to work in a smoke shop, but it's also one of those things of like, I don't know. Smoke shops always feel like I've worked at a bunch of gas stations. And smoke shops just feel like a slightly less amount of people coming through a gas station. Does that make sense? Minus the gas. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
I think you're describing a retail job, my guy.
There's different types of smoke shops. So like Marley's, like, I don't know, we kind of like harp on this. We're a head shop. Even though it's called Marley's Smoke Shop, we're like a head shop. And like a head shop's like where you can get all the little pothead shit. We got all the crazy gravity bongs and all the e-rigs, all the shit for like people that smoke wax and shit. Like most smoke shops you walk into, you can't get like the actual gear to smoke wax, especially in Tennessee.
Yeah.
There's only like a few shops in the state that are actually like
You guys have that stuff?
like tapped in. Yeah, Marley's has it. Out here in Lebanon, there's a few places that have like a small selection of shit, but like we're the only spot in the city where you can be like if you break your fucking banger, like the nail on your rig, like we're only one of the only places where you can go get like a good Quartz name brand banger, or you can get like a name brand fucking torch and name brand pearl caps and shit like that. It's weird little shit like that that's like hand blown and shit, like the expensive shit, really.
Speaking of smoking, man, what the fuck was Biden smoking when he decided to trade for Brittany Griner with the Merchant of Death himself? The guy who
he's smoking that woke Twitter pack, boy.
The Cage movie made after him was traded for a washed-up NBA center, a WNBA center. I'll preface it like this before we get into it. It's a travesty of it's horrible of what they've done to her. But America does the same shit to people for the same law. You know what I mean? So
there's a Marine.
No, they don't. Look, y'all, this is what I'm saying. We gotta look into this stuff. We gotta look this stuff. That Marine stole over $10,000 from the United States military.
Oh, I'm not.
He's like alleged to have stolen. No, what I'm saying that there's only 3 Americans locked up there.
He had the right to bear arms, bro.
And they said for a fact they're not letting that dude go.
That's
the Marine,
guy,
like
the guy who's charged.
Russia said 100% we're not letting this guy go. That was like, it's like we're not setting the terms in this shit. They are. Yeah. They're like, if you want her back, this is what we want. And obviously, it took us months to decide if that was something we were willing to do.
Is it worth?
So it was like,
is it worth to you?
Dude, it's not an NBA or NFL trade. It's not like they're going to swap places and like that's not. I don't look at it as a trade. I just look at it as like it was the conditions, not a trade. That was the conditions. They're like, we will give her back, but y'all are gonna give us this back, and we probably got some more shit that they're not gonna put on the news, dude. Like, people forget that like we're fucking in America and our government doesn't tell us everything. I don't know why they think they'd just be like, all right, well, we'll tell you exactly how this conversation with Russia went.
Yeah.
Come on, bro, we got to be real.
I mean, I get what you're saying, but like on paper,
it's not a trade. It's a condition. It's a condition of her release. It wasn't a trade. It's a condition of her release.
But like
is that a world that we want to live in?
But yeah,
just hypothetically.
That's the world we live in.
No, I mean like a world where the government was transparent about everything. What would that even look like?
I don't want to live in that world. That's a scary world, probably. That's a scary ass world, probably.
Before we die, like I want to just. Here's my issue with it. Like it's the equivalent. Brittany Griner and what she is to the WNBA is not the equivalent. But if you like turn it into a hyperbole, that's LeBron James. Okay, and if you turn the Merchant of Death into a hyperbole, that's like a quarter of Hitler. We're trading a quarter of Hitler for LeBron James. I think that's a dumb trade.
A quarter of Hitler.
I think that's.
They said he's potentially
into America.
He bought in 2,000 AKs. He bought in 2,000 AKs. Isn't Hitler accused of over 16 million deaths?
What I'm saying is, if we turn it
quarter.
What about the Autobahn?
What about the audio? What about
not
the
even? That's not even a quarter. That's not even a quarter of a quarter of Hitler. That's not even a quarter of a quarter of a quarter.
All right, fine.
Can you imagine the logistic skills it takes to?
Well, apparently he's not a very big threat to us. He's been locked up here for fucking ever. Anything he could have done, like we got any he's used up. We got all the information out of him that we can get.
If he was scary, the CIA would have killed him.
And like Russia can't even fucking fight Ukraine, dude. I don't know why people are worried about this fucking dude.
Because that's Black Adam, bro. That's the last missing piece to their Avengers-style puzzle to push
Vladimir
over
Putin
Ukraine.
fell down the stairs. Vladimir Putin fell down the stairs and shit himself last week.
Speaking of shitting on yourself,
did y'all see that
chat real quick?
It happens to the best of us, bro. In my opinion, I think sometimes you fall down the stairs, you shit yourself. We've all been there. No hate to anyone who has done that.
Are you really even falling down the stairs if you don't shit yourself?
But here's my thing, right? I get they can't really take Ukraine, but like I would hate to live in a country that's like being attacked by another country constantly.
Oh yeah,
That's like if Canada was like, we're taking this shit right here, motherfuckers, and we're taking it hard. And we know damn well they wouldn't win it. But do we want to live in a country where we're being attacked by Canada the entire time, even though they're not going to win? You know?
I don't think there'd be at Canada anymore if that was the case. The difference there is like Ukraine thought that Russia was going to take their shit in like 3 days. They're like, oh fuck, Russia's coming, and they're like, oh shit, we're winning. They're like, oh, we're fighting. Like, you know, they got some good punches in, but like us, like if fucking Canada attacked us right now, Canada would be gone in the morning when we woke up.
Ukraine has become the equivalent of like, what's the word? Like, you know, when everyone talks about in America, if the government tries to take our weapons, we'll fight back, this and that, right? That's pretty much what Ukraine has done, and it makes me kind of like giddy a little bit because it's like, damn, there's got civilians running around with weapons out there just fucking up Russians trying to go in their home. Like, that's kind of funny, isn't it?
Yeah, I think Russia oversold their arsenal by a long shot. They had us think they had me thinking that like America was like in danger to Russia, but now I'm not worried about Russia.
All their guns are in the Middle East.
Yeah, they might have some nukes, bro. But like, I don't think he's trying to do that. I think somebody would kill Putin before he got a chance to like, because like in Russia, a lot of people don't know this. They don't have like a protocol to where Vladimir could be like, all right, launch all of our nukes. He has to like put out a fucking. He has to like give permission to him, like give permission to all of his generals. Like, hey, now you can shoot your nukes, and they have to fire upon their own discretion. And not all of those generals are going to be like, yeah, let's do it.
Yeah,
some of them might, but not all of them.
I think.
So Donald Trump wanted to meet with Kanye West at Mar-a-Lago, and he told Kanye West to come alone. Kanye came with 3 extra people, and the meeting, quote, went poorly. Do you think that Donald Trump was trying to give the nuclear codes to Kanye West?
No, I think.
And if so, is it a failsafe, or is it, I'm going to do the most hothead crazy shit I can on the entire planet, and let's give this crazy person launch codes?
I think
Kanye was trying to ask. Kanye asked Donald Trump to be his running mate, and Donald Trump basically told him to fuck off. He came down there with Nick Fuentes, Myopolis, or whatever the fuck is his name, Milas, or whatever the fuck. And then they had like an attorney in Florida they were with, and basically they had like a really good fucking meeting, but halfway through, like some lawyer hit up Trump's lawyer that was sitting in there and was like, hey, this is a setup. And apparently they thought it was like some PR setup or some shit. So Trump like changed his tone and basically laughed in Kanye's face. And apparently talked shit about Kim. And him and Kanye was like told him to watch his mouth because that's the mother of his children. That's the drop I got on that situation. But
what if Kanye showed up alone, bro? Right? What if he followed instructions? That would have been so.
Trump would not be his running mate. I don't know why Kanye thinks that Trump would be his running mate.
Yeah.
All right.
Who is Trump's running mate this year? Is it Mike Pence again? Not this year.
No, him and Mike Pence aren't cool at all. I don't think he's announced a running mate yet. I think that's still up in the air. Let me look it up real quick. I'm pretty sure.
Do you think
he's trying to see?
Yeah.
I don't think I would go meet any government official by myself. That sounds like how you get assassinated. I don't think Kanye was crazy for bringing 3 people with him.
Yeah, I'm kind of at the same place of like, I would bring 3 people with me to meet Donald Trump.
I'm saying, bro.
Bro has too much money. You got FBI raiding his ass. You got me fucked up. Think I'm not bringing. Like, I bring 3 people to the homie's house just the very first time I go to a friend's house, just because I don't know how the energy's gonna be. You know what I mean? I don't even.
And that's why you have hard times getting second dates.
He has a Secret Service as a fucking. You have your Secret Service detail for life as a president. Like once you get out, he still has a Secret Service detail. You're gonna need
that
like
man
40
is never
friends.
alone.
You know what I'm saying? You're gonna need like 40 friends with you to feel safe.
Donald Trump don't even wipe his ass by himself, bro.
So wait, when Trump was going through all the FBI raids and all that kind of stuff, was Secret Service for the FBI's side or for Trump's side?
I think the FBI and the Secret Service share the mutual interest of Donald Trump not dying in the crossfire or committing unnecessary crimes. So I wouldn't be surprised if they worked together to mediate the situation. It's like, hey, Don, let's go fly to Boston. They're gonna go through your shit. There's nothing we can do about it. Let's get out of here.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Have you guys Oh, bro, let me go on a rant right quick. All right, I've been playing a lot of 2K. There's really been with a lot of games, but my problem with 2K is that the game that I play is riddled with pay extra money and you can do good. Otherwise, grind for 4 weeks in a row for 7 hours a day and you might be decent. And I'm
That's
starting to realize,
everything but my league.
and that's every game. I feel like at this point, where it's like every game has become more of like grind super hard, use all of your life. If you don't want to, pay the same amount the game costs to get there. And at what point do we just go, damn, these video games are getting kind of a little too much? You know what I mean? Like, I don't know.
What
Is it
point?
just a me thing
I
with
spent.
microtransactions?
I don't know. I got the $100 Vault Edition, so I'm not the right one to talk to you. I spent like $100 on Warzone, or I mean on Modern Warfare 2. I dropped that bag, dude. Because you think about the hours spent playing a game, like you
Yeah.
definitely get your money's back within like a month. Then like you spend like a year or two playing a game, then it's fucking a whole nother conversation.
Well, I mean,
But then again, buying shit because it is weird to me that I have to buy like you can buy blueprints and shit in Warzone. I'm just talking about that. I don't play 2K, but it's a similar
yeah.
thing, like
Not
where you have to
even
like buy like skins and buy camos and buy all this different shit, and you can. It's just fucking. I
well,
don't know. Just
I,
give it to me, or just make it all unlockable. Don't make it like something you can pay for. Just make it some shit you can all like. Everybody has to unlock the same way.
I think I think my thing is I'm kind of at like I gotta ban this person. 1 second. You guys keep going. I got
Don't ban them.
don't ban them.
They're engaging. Just tell them we're gonna ban you.
Yeah.
Like we're gonna ban you. You keep saying stupid shit. We're
Yeah.
gonna ban you.
Stay
His
active,
on
just be a
his
little
on
less
T.
wild.
Yeah, his on T. Quit talking about anuses and Mike's a woman and this and that. God damn. We got to take his
You can
ass
talk
out.
about it. You can talk about whatever you want. Oh, I thought this was America.
I gotta,
Oh
oh man, hell no.
shit!
No, I think, but now I think I don't know. That's becoming an issue, and I'm a little worried that's gonna fuck up Diablo 4, which was just announced. Diablo has been some of the coolest games ever. I don't know if you ever played them, Mike, but Diablo 4 is like, how would you describe Diablo, Isaiah?
Diablo is a top-down dungeon crawler, with randomly generated levels or dungeons, rather. Um, it's been a franchise. It's a franchise that's been around for 20-ish years at this point. Started on PC. Diablo 3, one of my top 5 video games of all time. But that is my jam. I fuck with the fantasy D&D aesthetic. There's a whole bunch of cool shit you can do. I didn't know Diablo 4 was a thing 2 minutes ago, and I am instantly excited. I really hope EA doesn't fuck us, because EA is really good at that.
Hey, let's not delete the messages out of the chat unless they say something that's ban worthy. You know what I mean? Unless they say something like racist or homophobic or something that could get us in trouble. It's fine if people
Oh,
talk shit.
That's our mod. That's our mod. She's listening, chilling.
Yeah, yeah. I was hollering. That's what I was talking to. I figured it was the
Yeah.
mob. But
Well, she
yeah,
be.
but just
I did tell
let
her
them talk their shit. It's
yeah.
cool.
The other day I was like, we just can't have any racial slurs, or the R word. And the one person who was doing it quit it. But anyways, speaking of Diablo 4, Rush Hour 4 was announced. Are we looking forward to Rush Hour
I
4?
saw that.
Isn't it not a classic in
Potentially
all
announced.
movies?
It's not set in stone yet, but I hope it is.
Do you?
I think that PC culture is going to ruin Rush Hour 4. I think we are beyond the years where that type of comedy is socially acceptable. Not that I'm saying I condone that level of not
I
being a
haven't even
bitch.
seen
Like,
the old ones. I
watch
need
the
to
movie
know
if you
the
want to
old
watch the
ones.
movie, don't if you don't. But they have to be insensitive as fuck the whole movie, or it's
Yeah,
not
it's
going to
gonna
feel like Rush
suck.
Hour. And I think it's going to suck. I
It's
think it's
going
going to
to.
suck big
Like, we're
time.
trying to do that fucking woke shit. It's gonna be fucking. It's
A
gonna
part
be
of me,
bad. They're
a
not gonna be
part
able
of
to make
me,
as many black jokes as they did, or Asian jokes. It's gonna be fucking.
a part of
It's
me
gonna be bad.
is kind of excited for Rush Hour because, like, damn, I haven't liked a Jackie Chan movie since the Rush Hour 3. Or damn, uh, Chris Tucker's kind of fallen off hard. Maybe he'll do good in this movie. But I mean, you guys kind of have the point of it's probably going to be shitty. Every single time they try and rehash old movie series or rehash old movies, it always ends up really fucking bad. So I mean, you guys have a point, but I don't know. Something about Jackie Chan, something about us having a prominent Asian actor always felt good. You know what I mean?
Yeah. Somebody's in the chat telling Prophet to name 5 UT players right now.
We'll go there in a minute. We'll go there in a minute.
Let me Google it real quick.
Do it. If you're a
I'll
real
leave
prophet,
my hands up. Just Prophet's taking a day off. It's Isaiah on the podcast. Keep talking, Negro.
Isaiah, bro. Name 5 players right now.
I'm not doing this right now.
You're in the corner right now, bro. You're in the corner.
Name it, bro. Name it, bro.
I'm not. All right.
Just name 2. Name 2. Just start with 2.
I'm naming 0. I'm naming 0. And we're gonna move on.
See, that's all
I want to do a college football podcast, but it's not happening here.
We talk about how football is so exciting this year.
I'm going to stretch really quick.
You good? Football is all excited this year. All this other extra shit. Yet you can't even name 5 players from your favorite team.
I refuse to because I won't be backed into this corner. This is ridiculous. All right. We were talking about something completely different. This nigga said, "Damn, can't even name 2."
It's a completely different person.
That hurts. I'm gonna let it slide. It's okay. I'm gonna let that shit slide because I'm on the camera and these niggas behind the keyboard, bruh. And I will do very little to nothing about it except sit here and keep doing my podcast.
Hey, I fuck with the new viewers, man. You guys are awesome. This is a little rehash in here. We very first episode of the KickBaQ Podcast. We doing some shit different, and we got Blake here. Hey yo, what's good, Blake? How you doing? Oh, you're muted. You're muted. Yeah, just scroll.
You're muted, blood.
Scroll over your face and then click the.
Cause
you're muted.
He had to turn on his hacker powers. Yeah, he's trying.
Muted. Still muted. Move your mouse on the screen that you're on with the 3.
What about now? Still muted now.
Okay, there we go.
We wanted an episode with you as a guest, but we'll take.
Oh
this.
Yeah. Well, this is a side mission, you know. Oh, you know.
Tell us about the album. Let's get the interview in real quick on my Nardwar shit. Tell us about the album.
It's coming no time soon.
Wait, are you actually
no time soon? Circled on the calendar.
No, I'm not working on nothing right now. Working on these shows, trying to get this podcast going. That's it.
Show.
Yeah. Mm-hmm. Yeah. Trying to get this going.
Hell yeah.
Well, Blake, we appreciate the interview. I heard you went to school, so here's an open pack of loose leaf paper.
Oh yeah, nice. Hell yeah.
Now you just reach into the camera and take the paper, and we'll all make $1 million.
Free of charge. Just pay shipping and handling.
Man,
do the loop, dude.
Hey, Blake,
dude,
you know everyone pretty well. What's the chances I can get? We've been talking about games we want to stream. What's the chances I can force everybody to play like a really old Lord of the Rings online game?
You know what I think would be cooler is if we could all play PS2 NCAA football games.
We're working on it.
See, I'm the only one that doesn't know anything about football.
I've been trying to get you on the wave, bro. It's too late now.
It really is too late.
It's too late. If you don't like football by now, you know it's kind of too late.
I'm getting into baseball recently. I've been watching a lot of like baseball breakdown videos. That's just always fun. There's just so many fucking games.
Nice to watch in October.
There are so many games, but yeah, niggas only watch in October.
You know what I just seen? Speaking of baseball, just like 5 minutes ago. You know, y'all remember Chase Andrews from high school?
Yep.
Yes, bro.
Yeah. You know, he's got like an Instagram page. It's got like he got hurt in college playing baseball, and he's got like an Instagram page. It's got like 40,000 followers on there, but it's literally just a catcher's tutorial for how to like catch like balls and stuff. You know, like it's a catcher's tutorial. That's literally it. But
hey, Chase, if you're watching the clip or the stream, get at us. We're trying to get you on the podcast. I went to grade school with that nigga, bro.
Yeah.
We played middle school basketball together.
Yeah.
He
of course.
Yeah, apparently
went to Alcorn State.
Yeah, apparently he's not doing basketball no more. Apparently he's a singer now.
Mm-hmm.
I just found out about that recently.
Oh, word. Hold on a second.
Yeah, all good. But anyways, Isaiah, so we got nothing to talk about here. The greatest gaming era, bro.
Oh shit, bro. Debatably between PS2, Xbox,
y'all see these comments?
Yeah, that
Yeah.
we just kind of let it run.
Oh,
All right. Well, here's Big Michael back in action. Here he is, y'all.
bye, Blake.
Bye,
All right.
Blake.
I'll see y'all. I'm
Sweet.
seeing the flippity flip.
Flip. So
Yeah, that's
Mike,
how
you're
we're
back
doing
in
it.
time for us
Mike,
to
we
start our
are-
next segment.
Yeah, the greatest gaming era. What era had the best
Mhm.
video games? Now,
Bro, like
I think it's
2010 to 2014.
nah, bro. I think
System gens.
I think 29 system gens. I think ever since the
Mhm.
PlayStation 5 and Xbox new one came out, we've been getting the best games. But like
Mm-hmm.
online games, yeah. Offline games, I feel like we had the best around the time like Skyrim came out. So 360, almost the new Xbox One at the time.
I was just talking about like the time period, honestly, not really the games, but like the Xbox Live days, like when like Xbox Live first came out, everybody's playing Halo, and then like Call of Duty, Modern Warfare 2, like the original one, fucking those were the glory days for me.
Yeah.
I think that PS3 and 360 gen is where gaming died. As soon as developers could start putting out an unfinished product and take our money post purchase, the gaming industry has seen a decline in quality, in my opinion. So that's why I was saying, like, I think I'm stuck between the PS2, Xbox GameCube era generation and the PS3 360 generation. That's where. So I guess gaming peaked PS2, Xbox, GameCube, and died PS3 360. I don't think games have gotten better since then. I think everything is either the same or worse than it used to be.
And like
I don't.
in my life, I've had 3 games that have like blown my mind, and I've been like, these games are the best games at that time, right? And those 3 games were like Modern Warfare 2, even though looking back, it wasn't the best game, but just the memories and like the gaming era during Modern Warfare 2, the OG,
Mhm.
Skyrim when that came out, I remember having my mind blown, and then like 2K11, which I guess is all around the same time period, but I'm kind of in like a mix of like, damn, those games like really blew my mind as a kid, but like if they came out now, would I think that they're rubbish compared to what we have now? You know what I mean?
I think the
That's
interactiveness was what was cool about it back then. That's what I'm sitting here thinking about too, because that was my favorite period to play games, like the favorite time period to play. But like, I don't know, there's some crazy games coming back out, like coming out back then though. Yeah, I think like Assassin's Creed started coming out around that time. Red Dead started coming out. Dishonored. So they dropped like 3 open worlds that were fucking crazy right in a row. And then you have like all the crazy first person shooters dropping. You had Halo, Modern Warfare 2.
Fallout New
You had
Vegas was really
fucking.
good as well.
You had Crisis. You had Crisis drop that came out. I don't know if y'all remember that series of
I
games.
used
That
to
shit was
love
fucking dope.
Crisis. The multiplayer was
Yeah,
so
dude.
fucking underrated, dude. So
Yeah,
underrated.
Crisis was the best multiplayer I'd played back then because it was like if Halo and fucking Call of Duty had a baby. It was dope. I loved it.
I like to think of it as like if Halo and what's Titanfall had a baby.
Yeah, it was Titanfall out then though.
Titanfall came out like a few years after, or
Yeah.
like 4 or 5 years after. But Titanfall was kind of like one of those games that kind of fell off, I think, pretty hard, just because a lot of issues were in that.
Oh, they all fall off hard.
Yeah.
Besides, like the few, you know, I'm
Also,
surprised Call of Duty, like still makes millions of dollars every release, and it's kind of like
I think
I'm
that's-
surprised that more people than my demographic play it.
I think it's because they're 2 different developers. You know what I mean? Having
Yeah.
2 different developers each year to work on a game, I feel like makes it to where it's harder to fall off. But I do think we're getting close to like the Call of Duty.
Well,
Those
think
days are
about it.
done though. Now we only have one developer now forever. So
Do we really?
Think about the things that Call of Duty
yeah, they're not
does.
doing the
to
split
keep-
anymore.
Think about the things that Call of Duty does to keep us buying every year. It starts with the 3 different developers pushing out games offset so that we have something every year. The game always comes out right around the holiday season, so people are buying gifts and having money to spend on shit anyway. The brand familiarity, like the fact that they were up and popping so long, and they've stayed culturally relevant, if not like consistently good. There's a whole lot of reasons why people still play Call of Duty. It's almost like eating McDonald's. Like, you know you're not doing a good thing to your body. But you still gonna go get that McRib when it comes back. That gun bumping, it's coming back. I'm calling it now. Y'all said I wasn't a prophet because I couldn't name UT players. When the McRib comes back, remember prophet.
Because you're wearing an orange shirt and a UT. You're wearing a UT shirt and a UT hoodie.
Yeah, and yet you still couldn't name 2 players.
And the hat, and you got a hat on too.
Still couldn't name 2 players, bro. What the fuck?
No, refused to name 2 players.
You know what's crazy?
I got the drip.
Nah, stop that.
I know for a fact you probably watch football just as much as I watch NBA basketball, and I can name like entire teams' rosters, and it's crazy that you can't even name 2 players from your favorite team.
There's way more teams in college football too. Yeah,
One
it gets
team,
deep,
Isaiah,
and I'm
one
not
team.
doing that on this podcast.
But you're wearing
I'm not
3
doing
items.
this on.
Are you wearing UT pants too?
Nah, bro. I wish, bro.
You're wearing a UT shirt, a UT hoodie, and a UT hat.
His shoes
You
are
go,
a
it's
UT
like,
Jordan's colorway. I say your shoes are probably a UT Jordan's colorway.
Bro, I fucking wish. You see, I need to write that down. Clip it, editor that we don't pay yet. But yeah, no, I refuse because I'm not gonna. It's like rapping for people on the spot. Like, I fucking refuse. I'm not your information monkey.
Mike, how many times have you been asked to just freestyle apropos of nothing?
You said what? All the time. I hate that shit, dude.
I hate it more than anything, man. Because like it's the
Hannibal Buress tells a.
What's up?
Hannibal Buress tells a bit about people telling him to do comedy on the spot. I'm actually just gonna. No, we can't. Fuck. Look it up. Go find a Hannibal Buress clip. It's worth the find. It's perfectly.
I thought we were able to watch stuff on here.
We can, yeah, but do we want to watch an entire Hannibal Buress bit? I can pull it up.
I'll find you the link of the only the bit type shit.
No, I got you right now. Yeah, send me just send me what it's titled. I'll look it up. But in the while I'm searching this, it is almost the equivalent of like someone walking up to like any profession. You know, it's like walking up to a cook and being like, "Cook for me right now." You know what I mean? It's one. I guess my issue with it is it feels like I'm getting pressed every single time. Like I'm now gonna press.
More times than not, I have people that'll come in. People come into Marley's all the time that like know we make music and stuff, and they'll be like, "Yo, bro, I'm trying to get in the studio or some shit," and they're like, "Bro, I'm hard," and they'll like sit there and start freestyling for me. And that's the worst. Like, when you're sitting there, I'm already listening to music in the store, and they start rapping over the song, not even in time to the song, just their own thing. I'm like, bro.
It's always.
I'm sitting there staring at them, like.
That want to get in the studio. But I'm just like, no. I'm trying.
They don't want to get in the studio.
No.
If they want to get in the studio, they'd go get into it.
That's why I always tell people is like, look, how I record, you can do it at your own house without the equipment. You'll be perfectly fine. Just show me something before I do anything with you. But I'm stupid and I still give them like beats and shit.
I'll definitely. People hit me with that shit all the time. It's weird.
So what am I looking up? Hannibal
Dropping it in chat now.
What's the title?
Dropping it in chat now. I'm dropping it in chat now.
You understand that I can't pull that up from my laptop. So what's the title?
That's where I'm putting
Hannibal Buress.
Hannibal Buress. Your clown. Hannibal Buress is not your clown. It's a 2-minute clip.
Okay. Perfect.
Oh yeah, that's funny. We can watch that.
Perfect. And then
I've seen this clip, but I like watching Hannibal a lot. So
I'm saying, bro.
And then I'm changing it up for the viewers at home. Am I? No, we're gonna have to do it the other way. And then we'll just screen share it like this, and then so y'all can see it at the same time. And boom, boom.
There we go.
Y'all see that?
Yeah.
I didn't sit through no goddamn fucking that right now.
It's 15 seconds.
Yeah, well, if it even wants.
Quick, close the window and talk about something for 15 seconds.
Yeah, so
don't look at that fucking ad. Don't buy what they're selling.
Yeah,
they're not paying us.
For some reason, the 4 screens.
I hate computers.
Right. The 4 screens feels right. You know what I mean? having 3 screens
Oh yeah.
feels awkward.
Comedy's a weird job. When strangers find out I do stand-up, oh, you do stand-up? Oh, cool, just do some shit for us right here at the bar. Go ahead. I know when you usually do stand-up, there's a stage and lights and sound and a mic and the audience and the proper context for stand-up, but that's the exact same as doing it right here at this bar for our faces for free. So let's go. And it's really annoying. I hate that shit. I remember I was in D.C. I just did a show. Me and my friends go to this bar. I meet this girl. We drinking, dancing, having a good time. She wasn't even at the show. We go to a second bar. Some dude yells out, "Hey, good show, Hannibal." Now she's curious. She says, "What do you do?" "Oh, I do comedy." "Oh, you do comedy? That's cool, you know. Tell me a joke." "It'd be weird if I just started doing jokes right now." "Come on, funny man. You're supposed to be funny. Just tell a joke." "Nah, I'm not telling you jokes. If you tell me a joke, I'll show my tits." And I said, "Yo, my jokes are better than your tits. My jokes will stand the test of time. Your tits." She said, "Come on,
Oh, fuck the loading, bro.
tell me a joke and I'll show my tits." And I was drunk. I went on this long rant. Hey, I'm not your goddamn joke monkey. You need to respect comedians. I was Emmy nominated. I was flipping out. I was snapping. Also, side note, I was nominated for an Emmy in the same way that Jawan Howard has an NBA championship. I just happened to be on the right team at the right time, but I didn't contribute shit at all. I was just on the sideline cheering on my friends. "Yeah, y'all write them sketches. Hell yeah, that shit's funny. That's funny." So I'm snapping. "I'm not telling no goddamn joke." She just gets up mad, leaves the bar. 15 minutes later, I was thinking, you know what? Could have told one joke to see some titties. It didn't have to be my joke. It could have been a horrible joke. "Okay, I got one for you. What do you tell a woman with 2 black eyes?" "Nothing. You already told her twice." Boom! Now you gotta show your tits after hearing that awful domestic
Now we're
violence
canceled.
joke.
Man,
That's
straight
not
up.
my joke. We had a verbal contract. Now lift up. A joke is a joke is a joke. That was the deal.
And that's why they can't make Rush Hour 4.
Why can't they make Rush Hour 4, bro?
Yeah,
for
so
real.
take the moral of the story. Stop asking rappers to rap. Nigga, go play the music so we get paid, nigga. Fuck do you talking
Yeah,
about?
That's a fact. They could
Rap
just
for
go
me
play-
over this counter right
They
quick.
could just go play any of the songs that are out, and it would be
I'm
better
saying.
than what I'm gonna freestyle to you.
It'd be a lot better than what I'm going to freestyle for you. Just go listen to it.
And
That's like catching
the
Chef
time-
Boyardee in the streets and being like, "Hey, bro, come make me dinner right now.
I used
Come
to
make me
hate-
ravioli."
I used to hate artists who did this, but I get it now. I 100% do. This is the worst shit. I was working on like an album like a year ago, and it was like 24 songs. It was like stupidly ridiculously long, and I would get asked like, "Would you freestyle for me while I'm working on this?" And in my entire head, I felt like fucking Vince Staples. I have a 24 song album I'm working on. You want me to freestyle? I'll just do it written then, I guess. Like, you're not gonna get to this song anyways. I used to hate on people for doing that shit, but I get it now, man. Like, ain't nobody trying to sit there and just freestyle for absolutely nothing. Like, that's just lame as fuck.
Yeah.
I used to think it was cool. Like, if you with your friends and you guys want to freestyle, and that's fun. Like, that shit's cool. But don't ask nobody to freestyle.
Yeah, it was cool in high school sitting in a hot box freestyling, but like, bro, I'm grown as fuck. I'm at work. I'm on the clock. I'm not trying to freestyle for you right now.
Even when I'm smoking with my friends, we do not freestyle anymore. We got too much
Yeah,
shit going
no.
on. If we want to rap,
Oh no, I'm talking about back in the day, not no more
Yeah.
for sure.
yeah, no. I think my last freestyle session was like, but before Horace got locked up, right? Probably after.
Nope, I have it on camera.
When?
The last freestyle session, 1,000 subscribers, and we'll share that video.
When was it? Because I need to make sure that I'm.
It was
writing this video.
it was at the crib in right outside of Cookville, bruh.
Oh, okay, got you. Yeah, that makes about sense. Hell no. You guys working on anything new when it comes to the music shit, man?
Yeah, dude, I made a fucking banger like the other day on my back porch. I had a homie pull up with a studio,
You
and
recording
we
outside?
fucking I recorded on the back porch. Sounds good as fuck too.
Hell yeah, I've always wanted to try some shit like that. I'm always just afraid because I don't be recording with studio equipment 99% of the time. I do most of my shit that's out like on my phone. So like, I'll be worried that if my sound quality where I'm at isn't good, it's gonna fuck up the whole thing. But
I mean, he runs a really good DAW. I mean, he's really good at working a DAW, and he's really good with plugins and shit like that.
can you drop his name or not?
Yeah, it's my boy Apollo. It's Apollo the God on Instagram. He's really good. He makes some bangers.
Hell yeah. Isaiah, how about you, man? I know you've got some things up in the vault recently.
In the last week, nah, bro. Nah, I ain't got shit done in the last week. Nigga been busy. Nigga been
Yeah.
tired.
I've been doing some shit here and there. I think I scrapped my entire last project, and now I'm at the point of like, do I even want to make another
It's
one?
official. It's not coming out.
I don't know. We'll see. I'm kind of just waiting to hear from Tay. Nobody's heard from Tay Shaleezy in like 2 weeks, so waiting to hear from him. Supposed to be making an album with him, but who knows at this point? That man's been doing something. I hope he's
Yeah, that was the first song I made since fucking June, I think.
No, I got a few songs. Like I have some of my favorite songs we've ever made as of recently, but at the same time, it's like I'm not finna drop this year. I don't even know. I'm the type that'll hold on. I mean, me and you might have a song that I have yet to release, and it's like 2 years old at this point. You know what I mean?
Yeah, I got plenty of songs older than that.
But
I need to put some shit out. I don't know. It's whatever. I like making music.
yeah,
It's a lot of pressure when you're putting it out and shit, you know?
exactly. It's one of those things where it's so fun making it, and then you lose all of that energy when you go to put it out.
Yeah.
It's
So,
kind
yeah.
of depressing. But yeah, anything new with the shows, man? You working on any shows coming up?
No, we got a phone call Saturday night. We're gonna try and plan our next event or try and like toss ideas around about like potential next events, but like still the main focus is getting an LLC
Yeah.
and that's our main focus. It's just hard to do in the month of December. Everybody's got like shit we gotta take care of financially at home and shit.
Mm,
But like, next month it's gonna happen.
for sure. Let us know in
Well,
viewers. Let us know if you guys are interested, man. We're talking about trying to do an episode live from a show and get some crowd engagement. But if it's something you guys are interested in, let us know. We'll make it happen. Otherwise, ain't really
and
nothing.
even if y'all aren't interested, we're gonna make it happen.
Yeah,
So
we might do numbers.
5,000 subscribers. The
No,
live
Isaiah, stop
live
putting
special.
numbers on this stuff. What? Stop putting numbers on it. Like
25,000 subscribers, and I will stop putting
the
numbers to
only
random
official thing,
events.
the only official thing we decided on is 250 followers, and Isaiah will come down. We'll try it and make it happen for an all in person episode, and 50 for a drinking episode. That's where we're at. 50 is confirmed. The other one we're still trying to figure that out. But
I will be intoxicated for the in-person show. So,
I can't do these.
sub to C. Sub to C.
Sub to see. You gotta. It's a follower only. I think at some point. I mean, I don't know. I think for at least the future. You know what I mean? I probably won't be getting subs for a while, but at the same time, you never know. I mean, we've had some good engagement on this one so far, though. I've been fucking with it.
You know how
Exception
hard it is to
views.
find a quiet bottom in this town? It's crazy.
What?
uh,
What are you talking
what?
about?
Continue.
No, what's a quiet bottom?
I shit too loud. Just continue, bro.
You mean like a bottom of like a top and a bottom? Like
You gotta explain that, or you gotta name
bottom.
5 UT players.
Yeah, explain that or name 5 UT players right now.
Bro, I'm just here to fill space, man.
No,
Y'all over here pressing a nigga over things that don't
You know what's
matter,
crazy,
bro.
If you have a name 5 UT players by the next episode, like I'm gonna make a little overlay that goes over your name that says fake UT fan for the entire episode.
Yeah, that's what I'm gonna do.
Ah!
I'm gonna make that the fucking name of the. I'm gonna share some clips on the YouTube and fucking talk shit about you not being a fucking UT fan. Fucking phony.
It's okay.
You big fat fucking phony. Fucking get
That
mad.
nigga's tripping.
Hell no. I think if anything, I could I could probably go without football. To be honest with you guys, are real big football fans. What's the allure compared to like basketball? It's high paced, a lot of energy, crazy athleticism going on every single play. The thing about MMA that's fun to watch is you get to see people get beat the hell up, and that shit's fun. And it's still a sport too if you're a purist. I don't get.
So I would say
football.
in between. Well, you like just named the two like outside of like the NFL is directly in the middle of the two you named. Like, you know, you have the NBA. It's not a contact sport, so it still takes a lot of athleticism, like a lot of stamina and shit. And then there's fucking UFC, which is strictly a contact sport. They're beating the fuck out of each other. And then football is that put together. They got to be very athletic, good on their feet. They got to be able to run fast and shit, but they're also hitting the shit out of each other. If I lived somewhere where rugby was the main sport, I'd probably like rugby a lot more than football. But football is just what I have in fucking front of me. But like rugby, from the outside looking in, from what I've seen so far, looks a lot more interesting. But that's just not like I like it's the experience that goes along with shit. I'm not huge on the NFL. I like the Titans, and I watch NFL football every day it's on. You know what I mean? But like, if I had to choose between NFL or college football, it's college football every fucking day. Because the NFL, everybody's the best of the best, but in college, dude, you have those big crazy plays because there's still like some kid who probably shouldn't be on that team there, and then you have like your future Derrick Henrys and fucking Peyton Mannings and shit who are just fucking like balling out on those kids. So it's fun to watch.
Derrick Henry, the MMA fighter?
No, the NFL running back.
Oh.
Yeah,
big ass nigga though.
Mark Henry was the who you're talking about. But I think he was a WWE fighter.
Who is the? There's a dude that used to fight in the UFC. Who still does. He's in the heavyweight, and he was widely known for after one of his fights talking about how sweaty his balls were live. Who the fuck is his name now? I'm about to look it up. It's something. No, that's not it. Victor Henry is not who I'm looking for. Derek Lewis is something.
Oh, Derek Lewis.
I'm just we talked about.
I think
what's up?
Part of the euphoria that comes from football and the fandom and experience of football has to be experienced live. The NFL, part of why that is such a lucrative and expensive business is because the attention they pay to little things. Like the microphone technology that they use is so... They put mics in places you don't think mics go, and those mics do things you don't think mics should be able to do, so you can hear every little thing from like helmets crashing into each other, shoulder pads make a certain sound, hot leather just bow right into each other. I don't know, man. It's football is it's hard to explain, man. It's just like you either fuck with it or you don't kind of thing.
Yeah, it's just you like to see somebody get their head busted or you don't.
I do, but not. This is my thing. I love watching UFC, and it could be someone who like, because growing up, my entire family was like, the sports that they fuck with are soccer, MMA, or any kind of combat, and then that's it. You know what I mean? Basketball, I really had to find on my own, and like my uncle was a big Lakers fan. My uncles are big Lakers fans. But basketball I had to find on my own. Football, nobody but one of my uncles fucks with it. I think that's probably what it is that I've just never had like a good run-in with football. And then like you're talking about like you want to see people get their heads busted. I feel like I can see that happen way more if I like just watch a fight. You know, you
gotta be exposed to it. You know, like we went to a school, Lebanon, while we were in high school. Like I'm not sure about you, Isaiah, but like while me and Nick were in high school, we were a year ahead of you. Lebanon won 4 games total our entire high school career.
They didn't start winning until I left.
Yeah, so you know what I mean, like, you didn't have like a crazy culture to look at to like inspire you to even want to watch football the Saturday after a Friday night game. Like get up Saturday morning and watch some more football, and then get up and do it again on Sunday. But like if you have family that pushes it on you, like I played football and shit when I was a kid, and I like had family that played football at different schools and shit. So I was always fucking at somebody's football game for something. It was just I like seeing it.
Part of it is being Southern.
Conditioning in Lebanon High School for football. 1 day of conditioning instead of 2 weeks. I got to do this. Fuck that. I'm out of here. I ain't doing push-ups for another hour.
Yeah. After conditioning, there's another gate, and that gate is contact. You see a lot of good athletes decide they want to play basketball after the right hit on the football field. But I think part of it is you moved around a lot, and in the South, like, playing football is a thing that, like, dudes just do at some point in their adolescence, in their young life. Like, you could go into a Walmart, close your eyes, spin around 20 times, and throw a rock, and there's like a 75% chance you're going to hit a dude that has played organized football before.
Do you think
so it's
football
like
for you guys is like what MMA was for me? In that
No.
vein of like, that's what dudes.
It can't be, because the community that comes with being a football fan is unmatched by almost any other sport, especially living in the South, because like college football is at its peak fandom south of the slave line. Football in general is watched the most down south. So I think like it would be
different
close.
because you wanted to be an MMA fighter. I never wanted to be a football player. Like, I played football in like little league and middle school, but like I did marching band all of high school, and I still watched the fuck out of football. It was never like, 'cause like a minute ago you said you wanted to think about getting back into MMA, and I was like, yeah, I have no aspiration to be in the NFL right now.
No, I don't want to get back at this point in my life. Like, yeah, when I was like in high school, I was doing MMA because I was like, damn, I have a shot here, type shit. You know what I mean? Where now it's like I want to get back into it primarily for like fitness. And
Yeah, MMA is more of an art form for sure.
Yeah,
you can practice MMA alone. You know what I mean? And it's like an art to it, but like, it's weird if your fucking stepdad's outside running fucking football drills, like, like every day. But like, if you get up and you train MMA every day, that's something you can do. You have a day job, and nobody's gonna make fun of you because you train MMA. But if they're like, yeah, man, I run fucking football drills every day, and they're like, how do you stay in shape? You're like, yeah, man, dude, I'm fucking running Oklahoma in my backyard with my fucking kids, and you know, I'm getting it good.
If my stepchildren woke up and saw me running football outside, they'd probably just stare at me like I was a crazy person. That's being said, it's probably because I don't even know what football drills are. So the whole time I'll just be like, do I throw the ball to myself and really high in the air and then run and catch it? Like, what is a football drill?
Yeah, for real.
So I don't. Now I just, it's so hard for me to get attached to football. I think that's for the same reason. Is like I find it. I've found watching baseball enjoyable, but I don't find myself like caring. You know what I mean? I watch baseball.
Oh, you're tripping. Yeah. Do you find baseball more enjoyable than football?
Well, here's my thing. The reason why I find baseball enjoyable is because I can turn it on and then do like play games or like work on music, and then I can look over and I'll be like, oh shit, they just hit a fucking ground two bases, like they just hit it, like, and then I'll just look right back and I didn't miss much. You know what I mean? I haven't missed much within the 5 minutes I looked away. Where like football, basketball, stuff like that, I can't turn it on and keep an eye off of it. You know what I mean? At least in my opinion.
You can with football if you're watching it live. A lot of football culture, or at least couch football culture, it used to be with cable. You're flipping channels through games. You're watching you're watching as many football games at a time as you have access to. Flipping between, because there's hella commercials in TV
NBA
football.
Now. I do that with NBA now. I'll be like, I want to catch this quarter of this game, and I want to catch the second half of this game and try and go back and forth.
No,
like,
football, it's like every commercial break you switch to a different game. And it's like
because they happen so often.
Yeah, and you have like me and Blake. What we do, we'll have like 3 games, like up, like especially on college days, we'll have 3 games. So I'll have the UT game up. That's our main game. But then we'll have like the Ohio State game or something on the other channel, and that'll be our commercial break game. But whenever they go to halftime, you're gonna need that third game to go watch that started like an hour later than the first games. So that's you gotta line it up like that, and then you're gonna have your game. You gotta have your shit slotted out, man. It's a lot of fucking planning, but you gotta have.
That's part of why
you got your noon games,
culture.
your 3:00 games, 6:30 games, and then you got fucking 11 a.m. games the next morning. You got some football. You got some NFL football to watch at 11.
That's part of why being a fighting fan could never really feel like being a football fan, because like for generations, people have had the tradition of getting together at least Saturday to watch a day's worth of football. And it's been like that for 50 years.
They do it every week.
Fighting is
like growing up.
Fighting not the same. Fighting, you watch the pay-per-view events and shit. If you're a regular guy,
and they happen way less often, and they've only been covered for like 30 years. And it's in its infancy compared to the legacy of the NFL. So all right, 20 years.
But here's my thing, right? What you're saying is like you guys have a bunch of people pull up, watch the game. You know what I'm saying? Watch it for an entire day's worth of games, blah, blah, blah. Like, I remember growing up, my family, especially when the UFC first started, my family would throw like parties on the day of every pay per view,
Mm-hmm.
and we'd have a whole bunch of people show up, and they start from prelims, and it could be like a 12 fight, 13 fight card, and like one fight that could be over quick as shit, but you're not thinking about all the commercials.
You already said the difference though. You said pay per view. This is every weekend with football. You're saying pay per view. Like they don't do this with every fight. Yeah, they don't do this with with every fight. They only do it with the big fights. But like every weekend is a holiday in football season. Like I'm bummed. Huh?
You could catch football with an antenna. You don't even have to have streaming.
Yeah, you don't have to have streaming nothing to catch the fucking main football games that you need to see. So it's like we like college football here. We're in the SEC, so you're gonna be able to see your game. Like you'll be able to see any SEC football game, and then the Titans, you'll be able to see them. We're in Tennessee. They do local broadcasting for the NFL. So there's like you don't have to pay money to be a football fan.
There's a lower bar of entry. Which is another
and
thing
football is way more accessible. Like you can't go tailgating at a fight every weekend at your local college, because like fights are so few and far between, like locally. But everybody has a football stadium they can drive to within 30 minutes and go drink beers with their buddies on asphalt. Yeah, there's just something about the water down here in the South that makes that sound interesting.
The only
but they do it. North has a crazy football culture. If you think about like Ohio State and Michigan, like the whole Pac-10 and 12, like they get the fuck down at like up north on each side of the coast. It's just like this is the main one. The SEC is fucking as good as football gets. I'll stand by that till the day I die.
All right,
that's as good as football gets.
Compared to getting punched in the face, right? Like in a real fight, you got punched in the face. You got sucker punched. How much worse or like less worse is it when you get like sacked?
If you're making contact correctly in football equipment, it makes you are coming in contact with another grown man at full speed, or a similar sized person at full speed.
What I'm trying to figure out is,
and that's a full body hit.
Because I can take punches.
You have the stones for it.
When a quarterback gets hit too hard, they find players out the fucking ass, and they do that for a reason, because that's a fucking crazy hit to be taken when you're not ready to take that hit. When you're sitting there, like when you just threw the ball and you're looking downfield and you get hit late, that player's getting fined like fucking crazy for hitting you late. So it's like it's not the same. And also the big difference to me is like kids don't grow up doing UFC. Kids might grow up and you might get in a street fight, but it's generally fucking frowned upon. Like, me and my friends did body shots and shit all the time in the fucking yard. We go out there and fight and shit. But it was like playing around. But like, you didn't get to do organized fighting in middle school and high school growing up, or even elementary school. Whereas like I played pee-wee football from fucking second grade all the way to fucking freshman year.
Well, I mean,
so it's like I had like most kids like had that aspiration. I'm saying no, but what you're about to say is gonna be like there's millions of kids who play like little league football. There's probably thousands of kids who have done MMA.
The number is huge difference.
So I'm saying that's the difference. I understand whatever you're gonna say, but I'm saying like that's what the real difference is. Like how many people can relate to it. A lot of kids have played football and thought about running down that sideline and scoring a touchdown. So they like to like watch other people achieve that. But most people don't care about UFC fights because they can watch somebody get knocked out on World Star. That's like way more entertaining.
You have a good point, because with MMA especially, it's you grow up doing karate tournaments or kickboxing tournaments or taekwondo tournaments or jiu-jitsu tournaments, and then when you're close to 18, you go, do I still want to do these tournaments, or do I want to go to MMA, which is like a full contact fighting, right? Because there's like differences. Yeah. Like, boxing, you're taking less of it. Yeah, you get the point.
Yeah, I mean, I wrestled for 3 years, like 6th, 7th, and 8th grade. I wrestled for like Walter J, and I wrestled for like Travel League and shit. So I definitely get that, like the aspiration to want to go do fucking MMA. But like my wrestling meets, even the biggest ones, were never even as big as a fucking pee-wee football game.
Yeah, no, 100%. I get that. I think another thing that fascinates me with football culture, especially in the South, has to do with the type of people that watch football. Like, obviously, I feel like the sport is a little bit more right-leaning than left, but it always feels like the only way I can put it into terms is like it feels like the least racist sport, like when it comes to fans.
I think that in the world of racist or not racist sports fans, football might be very close to the middle. Like super gray on the black and white scale we're putting this on. I think it's very in the middle because I get what you're saying. There are a lot of racist football fans, but
Especially, I
football
think in the South with if it's free, you have a lot more access to those lower class
and
people that don't really have good educations, and I feel like it kind of comes into like a thing of like, I don't know, they had the whole no kneeling, and they had the whole Kaepernick shit go on, and they had half of these other racist owner things come out. But at the same time, you look at the fans, and they like kind of love their black players. That's what I'm saying. It's kind of like it's always felt like the least racist sport. That makes sense.
Well, that's always been like a problem with sports, right? Is that like these fans will fucking cheer on black people and they'll cheer on all these people who go out and do all these accolades athletically, but they still treat people who aren't fucking gods on a fucking sports field or inside an arena, they still treat them like shit. So I think that was like the biggest issue with the NFL and like the NBA especially.
Oh, NBA
you know what I
huge
mean?
on it, yeah. NBA is
I
would say NBA is a little bit more racist, at least when it comes to fans. Owners for sure.
I feel like less so, and that's because, like, to Mike's point, people have allegiance to the uniform and not to the person in it. So, like, a lot of OJ fans really fucked with OJ, the property, the guy that runs on the field for that team. But niggas are niggas to people. But with football, you're on a field with 11 people wearing the exact same shit as you, with a helmet covering your face. Like, that's why they had to put numbers and names on the jersey, so you could identify who you were watching on the field. But with basketball, it's niggas in a tank top and shorts, which I know sounds like a weird difference to point out, but like, when you see LeBron James, you know that that's LeBron James. But when you see Tua Tagovailoa, or however the fuck you say his last name, out at a Publix in Miami, you're not going to be sure if that's a football player because he
a lot of people don't know what their favorite. Yeah, a lot of people don't know what their favorite football player actually looks like. I know, like Derrick Henry. I'm sure if I was like in the right setting, I would not recognize Derrick Henry. But like when I see Derrick Henry in uniform, I'm like, oh, that's Derrick Henry. That's a bad example. He's really famous because I would know him. But like Vince Young,
that's because you're a Titans fan. But what about this
Vince
second
Young
round
or
running
Michael
back?
Vick? Well, I'm saying even Vince Young was one of the biggest quarterbacks at fucking Tennessee that's ever came through, and I can't even think about what his face looks like right now.
It's kind
He was on the cover
like,
of Madden 08, so I remember
but I see him. I see him in a uniform right now. It's just shit like that.
I think it's the equivalent of like it sounds like the equivalent, I should say, of like when you hear about country singers, you know their name, but you can never I can never visualize what they look like. You know what I mean?
Well, that's just because country music is very simple for the most part. So there's like hardly anything to latch you in, anyways. But that's another conversation for another day.
Yeah, we don't want to go too hard on country music right now. We haven't got our Nashville fans yet.
I want to tease the audience. This looks like the type of podcast where everybody would say country music sucks. No, it's not. Stay tuned.
You know, I hate country music.
Say it sucks. I'd say a lot. I'm very specific about how I say
10,000 subscribers. We'll talk about this.
10 billion subscribers.
I think. Oh man, I want to go on the country thing, but I know. Before we get into like the last little segment, because I've ran out of talking points. Before we get to the last little segment, we should do a little game or something. But in the meantime, while I figure that out, Isaiah, if you want to entertain.
Do we just want to go ahead and unpack this country music thing? It kind of feels like we have something.
If you want,
let's hit it.
To you. Let's do it then. Go ahead, Isaiah. Tell us your view. You're the one who said you wanted.
Sure. So I'm opening up to country music. I used to be in the camp of I listen to everything but country. I'm influenced by everything but country type shit. But like going past my ego as a person who rejects certain parts of Southern culture. Musically, there's a lot of cool shit going on in country music sometimes. There are rock and roll influences. There are pop influences. And I think that a lot of people's apprehension of, like, they hear a certain instrument or, like, let's just say they hear a banjo and they go, I'm not listening to country music and turn that shit off. I feel like it's just as ignorant and closed-minded as when people hear a producer tag and some 808s and go, that's hip-hop, that's racist rap music term, I'm not listening to that, and turn it off. Not that those things are exactly equal, but they're not that far off.
tell you my take now.
Go ahead.
I think what you're saying right there is a true statement, but like if you that's to a very specific amount of country music that has some really cool shit going on in it. It has like anything, in my opinion, when I listen to a drum set player, y'all know I'm a drummer, so that's like kind of the first thing. When I listen to live music, that's like the first thing my ears jump to, and I'm like, is what they're doing like fat, or is it even fucking good, or is it even hard? And like 9 times out of 10, you're gonna turn on country, and they're
No, for sure.
like,
So how do you feel about the statement about the Beatles drummer being really good?
Beatles ain't country.
Even though he was just, but I know, but his whole thing is simplicity and executing that perfectly. And people
so,
really
like,
respect him for that.
Yeah, no,
Simplicity
people do
music
really respect
is one
Ringo.
of the highest art forms. Go ahead.
No, so yeah, obviously, pocket is very important when you're a drummer. But like country drummers aren't doing the same pocket that fucking Ringo Starr was doing, and also Ringo Starr was not that fucking great. There's a lot of people that have talked about this. He's got like some weird shit that he can do, and he had a really good pocket. But when it comes to tech, he did a lot for drumming. I'll say that. But like, if Ringo Starr was doing what he did back then, right now, nobody would know who the fuck he is by a long shot. By no stretch of the imagination would anybody know who he is. And that's coming from a drummer who should idolize that guy. But but
Can we say the same thing about Jerry West?
You can say that about a million different drummers. That's not the point to be had. I'm saying country music as a whole is very very simple.
I agree.
I was talking about Jerry West, the basketball player, coming back from.
Let me get my take.
Yeah, there's a Jerry West drummer in my head.
My fault.
I thought we were talking about country music, not basketball.
Yeah. I was
and the fact that you could take anybody who did something for an industry or a culture and put them in today and be like, this would be less now because things have advanced. But I'm just saying that thought process just seems a little. That's not the thought process. You asked me how I felt if that was an impressive thing. I'm saying that's not what that he wouldn't be. He's not impressive for that. But okay,
pocket's really important. But yeah, dude, simplicity is good when it's intentional. So like I listen to like Jacob Collier when he does so much crazy shit when he simplifies down to one layer out of nowhere after he just had like 130 stacks. That simplicity to me is like simplicity with intent, not simplicity out of fucking necessity. You know what I mean?
Is that
a lot of country music feels like it's simple,
hundreds of layers, and then brings it down to one?
You said what?
Is that an exaggeration, or like does he really be having shitloads of layers?
What's the most layers Jacob Collier did?
He had 15,000.
He had 15,000 layers on a song, and that's not an exaggeration.
Was it a good song?
Yes, it's Jacob Collier, bro. Y'all should look him up. He's very talented. But still, there's a lot of artists who do simple shit really, really good. But like the simple shit doesn't ring really good unless you can do the cool shit. Like simple shit's really cool because like when you see I see drum videos all the time where somebody like what they think is cool and they'll play like or what they think is hard and they'll play like some crazy ass fucking fill and they'll be like what's actually hard. And they'll play like some shit. Like, playing pocket and playing in time is really hard, but you have to have something to make that a highlight. That's not a highlight if that's all you can do.
I see what you're saying. Wait, let me get my take on country music. I'm gonna touch on a few things you guys said, and then go all out. I think country music is super simple, but not in the way that like I see simplicity in like Mad Lib beats. You know what I mean? Not in the same way I see simplicity in like Roy Ayers' The Sun's Ubiquity. You know what I mean? With those, it feels like it's simple, but for a reason. And a lot of country music feels like it's simple because it has to be. And I also feel like we're in the hub of country music, and I'm kind of at the point of like you're seeing country music die within the hub, within the area, and it's one of those things where once music gets so evolved and then becomes something else, you kind of just have to let the older things die on it. And I think country is one of the few genres that are just withholding themselves upwards when they should be dying.
Simple because their fans are. It's simple because their fans are simple. That's the point I'm making.
Oh.
Like their fans
Yeah.
can't handle the complexity of music that I enjoy personally. Like, I'm saying masses because there's like I can name like 30 fucking country songs that I love. You know what I mean? And that's like I don't fucking.
Just
I
real
hate rap.
quick, that's
I
where the
hate rap
conversation
music too,
started.
you know
Was
what I mean?
like whether or not like we could throw a blanket over country sucks.
That's why I said when I first said something, I said I'm very specific about the word a lot of country music because not all of it is bad.
I think
There's
it all
people who
sucks.
fucking kill it
Y'all
making
are
country
fucking
music.
tripping. There's nobody like MF
But-
Doom in country music. There's no fucking Andre 3000.
That
There's no
is
Jimi Hendrix.
ignorant because
There's-
you've never
None of them.
searched deep enough into country music to find what you found in hip hop.
You don't have to search for Andre 3000. He pops up. You don't have to search for MF Doom if you like hip
No,
hop.
he doesn't.
pops up.
No, he doesn't. No, they
MF
don't.
Doom maybe
No, they
not,
don't.
but Andre 3000 does. Outkast pops up every single time you look up hip hop.
All
That's a
right,
guarantee.
so
That's a guarantee.
Bro,
neither here nor there. Neither here nor there, right?
You have to have
I
be
think-
willing to give something a try. You can't just be like, oh, it's all bad. Because there's a country song out there that you would like.
I'm
100%.
sure, right? But I'm also sure there's screamo music I like, and I'm willing to say that music sucks.
Yeah, but that's what
Yeah.
I'm saying. That's we're pointing at the blanket statement is like.
I think that country music in itself
Uh,
is almost as broad of a genre as rock and roll in a lot of people's heads, because like a lot of like radio country is like pop music with a banjo and an accent. There are old '90s bands that are rock bands that are only not country bands because they don't have a song about a tractor, or a banjo, but the sound, the influences are all there.
But that's
I
my
think
point earlier.
that-
At what point does influence just become another genre, and we have to realize that it's not country?
But
it's
so-
something else.
Yeah. I mean, music is always adapting and changing, right? Like, rap was a good descriptor for the genre in the 90s, right? But if you say that you make rap music 30 years later in 2022, you have to be specific because there's like 13 different types of music you could be making for somebody to even like kind of get what you do as a rapper. And I think that like country music is coming to that same point where it's going to have to start breaking off into. Now, this is also as the country defender or whatever in this conversation, have not waded as deep as I probably will in the future in country music. So like there probably is already all of these windows and outlets to plug certain types of music into in the country umbrella. But I
feel
think
like
it'll
country's very
eventually just
redundant.
turn into like folk music or bluegrass type shit. It'll be that level of notoriety and importance
Here's
as a
my
genre.
checklist of if
Like,
a
it'll
genre
exist.
is good.
Folk
Dude.
music is blown up a little bit, you know, like Kaleo. Like, there's bands that are like make like folkish music that have blown up really big. But like country's redundant, and it hasn't evolved as much as it should have over. It's the oldest like mainstream music that exists. It's the oldest version of mainstream music that exists, and these motherfuckers aren't evolving. And I'm
That's what
like,
I'm saying. That's why
the world's going on without
there's
you.
a checklist of things that in my head, at least in my opinion, is all my opinion, is you have to hit these for me to think your genre is good. Are the young acts like doing anything different? Is anything within the last 10 years sound like it still sounds now? And is everything that is a new country just adding other genres and just completely doing their genre? Like a
New
Lil
country
Nas
was when they
X?
tried to do fucking rap. You remember when
Yeah.
rap country was like getting
Oh,
big
yeah.
for a minute,
And that's
and that shit like
because
went out the door real quick.
that's how rap was made, and I get it, right? Rap was mainly made from taking other genres and turning them into influence and all that kind of shit. That's super dope. But I don't think we can give country the same benefit of doubt and be like, well, it's just doing what rap's doing, and that's trying to take other genres, because hip hop is such a more accessible medium when creating than I think a country is.
It wasn't doing that. Rap took like samples from other genres,
Well,
but the
yeah.
actual like shit coming out of the artist's mouth was like an original thing.
The
It's
boom-
continued to evolve
the
now.
boom bap, which is like one of the earliest forms of hip hop, originally came from like.
That's what I said. The instrumentals, not the vocals.
okay,
I'm saying
yeah.
the instrumentals. Yeah.
Yeah, but I think that's what makes genres different is the vocals. When it comes to instrumentals, most of it's going to be pulled from other things like hip hop. Even though we have some of our own, like 808s weren't really ever a big thing until hip hop and shit like that. But I feel like country just hasn't added to music in such a long time, at least on a mainstream way, that I'm sure there's artists out there that are doing it differently. And You know what I'm saying? There's Nicki Hendrix in the country music that is doing shit his way. But the same as with hip hop, I don't think that like it'll ever be mainstream doing it that way. And I find it hard to be like that's not a dead medium. It's not a dead genre at this point. Like it really does feel dead, and every year more and more, even in Nashville area, it feels the country is just leaving. You know what I mean?
I don't know. They still definitely pack out. They're one of the
Yeah,
only genres that pack arenas. Like it's still one of the main genre. Like country and pop music are country pop and rap, obviously, but like rappers aren't packing out arenas very often. But like every time you have a country concert, at least out here, it's a fucking arena. I know they have a big what's it called, festival in Las Vegas for country music. You know, they do like.
Mhm.
Country music does all right for what it does, but it's just fucking. It's not for me, dude. I guess I got it shoved down my throat growing up, so I don't fucking like it like that.
Same.
But I love some country. There's some country songs I love, but like as a whole, like I don't really rock with country.
You really like.
Y'all know Big Jet Plane.
No.
Thick and Fried by the Zac Brown band. Is
Yeah,
what got me
there's
hooked.
a bunch of songs. There's some Toby Keith songs. I ain't as good as I once
Scootin'
was.
Boogie by Brooks and Dunn.
I think it's
Hillbilly
I don't know why I'm naming. I don't know why you would
Blake
tell us to name songs. You don't know any of the songs, so it's not gonna do it.
I realize
He's
that.
like name songs, and he's like shaking his head at us like no.
I don't know
I'm like,
the
bro,
artist.
obviously I don't know.
He's
Some of the
expecting
artists.
us to say a song and be like, "Oh, that's country? What?"
no.
Like, I think that's what he was
Teach me
waiting
how to
on.
Dougie.
I think no, what? No. I was
Teach
the
me how to
guy-
Dougie
I
by
was
the
the guy who was
Cali
still
Swag District.
Dougieing in like 2016. All right, so I I think it's me being from the West Coast that I find it so hard to be into country and like accept country because like my entire life has been I cannot accept Southern ways as my life because I'm not from here.
Mhm.
Uh,
Yeah,
You're
think
from
about how
here,
much of your
cuz.
personality is. I mean,
Nah,
also
Nick,
true.
Nick, when did you move here?
oh, super young. No, I mean I'm saying it's
What percentage
Yeah,
of your life
stop
did you
that.
spend in middle? I think you got to think about like how much of your personality relies on you rejecting Southern culture.
100%.
Um,
I've lived in the South
just
from
like-
second grade to fucking fifth grade, and then from ninth grade up until now. So it's majority of my life has been in Tennessee. I agree, but that entire time I've been like, I cannot accept this. My mom hasn't accepted it, and still to this day hasn't.
That's a problem. That's a problem y'all need to get through.
No, my nana
Y'all gotta let it go,
refuses.
bro.
No, my
You
Nana
live here now.
refuses.
You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Well,
Y'all gotta
I'm
let it
trying to
go,
get
bro.
out. I'm trying to
Give
get
it a chance. Holy shit.
I'm trying to get out. No, I'm
You've been
trying
here
to get out,
forever.
bro. No,
I've known you my whole life.
and I've never once.
Ah!
Hey,
Ah!
but listen. But have I ever once like showed an inch of country?
I don't know. Probably not.
No, bro, because
But,
I
like-
won't do it. Anybody whose country is like anybody who reps country like that, bro, has always been weird to me because I just hear it and I think this is not like I want to like when I listen to hip hop, the artists I listen to, if I'm listening for beats, I want your beats to be like thought provoking. I want to hear it and be like, damn, I never thought about doing that.
The only thing I'll
You-
say
you know
on that
that-
is if I ask somebody like, "What's your favorite genre?" and they're like, "My favorite genre is country," then I'm like, "Okay, you hate good music." But like,
That's
if
my
it's somebody's like, "I like a lot of country music," if they don't, if they like country music, that's cool. But if that's your fucking, if they're like, "I'll only listen to country," then I look at them the same way I look at the guys who only listen to NBA YoungBoy. You know what I
There
mean?
are
Yeah.
two different types of responses that are being given when somebody says my favorite genre is country. And I think one of those responses is they specifically like 90s and earlier era country music. A lot of people that's when country music peaked for a lot of those people. And the other people are saying that they fuck with pop country because when it's not like country something, country is just as vague as pop.
Those people that like 90s
Yeah.
country though are the same kind of people that I look like stupidly when they tell me their favorite band is Nirvana. You know what I mean? It's like, come on, bro.
I mean, I feel you, right?
Nirvana's a good
But I
band,
think, like-
can we realize there's been better bands since and before? Like, and the same thing with country.
I mean,
it's like,
yeah.
cool,
Like, if
country's-
Nirvana is your favorite band, you're tripping.
That's the same way when people tell me country is their favorite music, especially if it's 90s or before country. And I'm like, are we really still listening to old ass music? Like, I don't see like the only old music I
Oh,
listen
yeah.
to is MF Doom and Outkast. You know what I'm saying? Roy Ayers.
That's not old music, bro. You gotta like you. I feel like you have like a very
Well, Roy Ayers is from the
new.
70s.
No, look, you have a. I'm saying you have a very nuanced view on the music that you like.
Oh,
But
100%.
like, there's like I listen to Motown classics all the time. You gotta listen to old school shit, bro, or it's just gonna disappear. You know what I mean? You're gonna dwindle. All your music's gonna dwindle off one day, and nobody's gonna fucking give it the time of the day because it's old. When it's like some of my favorite songs are songs that came out fucking in the 80s and
No,
70s and
most of the
60s
shit I
and
listen
shit.
to is current music. But if I go back, I only go back, like you said, it's a very specific artist that I fuck with. And I get how that could be like not the greatest thing. But I think that those are the same kind of people who only listen to country from the 90s. They only go back to specific artists from the 90s. There's nothing to pull from now. And it's one of those things of if that's your favorite music is old music, it becomes like my favorite artists aren't old right now. My favorite artists right now are like Freddie Gibbs, like Kendrick.
Think about it though. If
Freddie
your
Gibbs is old,
favorite
my nigga.
genre,
No, Freddie
let's
Gibbs
say
is
if your
still
favorite
dropping.
genre is,
He's
let's say
still
if your favorite
dropping, but
genre
so is
is,
fucking Afro Man, and
Yeah.
so. And
oh
so is
my
fucking-
god,
No, it's not the
yes.
same
Yeah,
thing. Freddie
he's
Gibbs
He's coming out with
No,
a beer
bro.
now.
We're not about to compare Freddie Gibbs and Afro.
Freddie
Man.
Gibbs got his ass kicked at a grocery
He
store,
did
bro.
get
Can we
his
leave
ass
him
kicked. No, at a
at the
Mexican
retirement
restaurant. At a
home?
Mexican restaurant.
My fault.
Yeah.
My fault.
And look,
Let's say
he's-
jazz is your favorite genre,
Okay.
right? Just circling back.
Yep.
There's a high probability that all of your favorite artists and idols are not alive anymore.
Okay.
Not that people won't be
bro.
listening
Jazz
and
is popping
discovering
right
some new
now.
shit.
Yeah, jazz
That's what I was about to get to. But there's just as likely of a chance that your favorite jazz artist is somebody doing something new and influential. Like you have influences and things that you pull from all over the spectrum. But if your favorite is old shit, your favorite is old shit. There are people that only listen to Tupac and Biggie type shit. Like they only listen to 90s hip hop. Those are weird people, but they exist. There are people who only listen to grunge, which is rock music that happened in the 90s. There are people who only listen to 80s pop.
Grunge has been happening since the 60s. Grunge is a genre.
I think he's talking about
grunge is a genre, not a period.
I think he's talking about.
That's
the
what I'm
peak of
saying,
grunge was like the Pixies.
Yeah, like
Nirvana,
the grunge
shit like that.
wave.
The
Pearl
Pixies.
Jam,
Yes.
Soundgarden, that era of music.
Mm-hmm.
But like, yeah, that's what I'm saying. Like, you can't just write something off or somebody's tastes off because their heart lies in the past.
No, I can. And I will. Fuck them. If they don't listen to good music,
And-
I'll let them know.
That's so subjective and pretentious, bro. But it's so you, and I'm like, keep doing it.
No,
Be you, bro.
Because if
But
somebody
like,
comes to me is like, "Have you heard the Little Brown Band or Little Zach Brown Band or whatever the fuck this shit's called?" Right? And then they're like, "I'm like, well, have you heard fucking I don't know Alfredo? Have you heard fucking have you heard The House is Burning?" They're like, "What the fuck is that?" I only listen to Little Zach Brown Band. I'm like, "What the fuck is the Little Zach Brown Band?" They're not Grammy nominated.
Chicken fried.
Well, I feel
hold on.
like
Because yes, sir, cold beer on a Friday night.
yeah, you would. You can't hate on their shit because they don't listen to what you don't.
Okay,
You listen to,
exactly
and
what I
I
Okay,
was
listen
let
to
me
them.
change my
What is
whole
that,
point.
Yeah,
bro?
Let me change
Come
my,
on.
all right, let me change my whole
Yeah,
point.
please
Yeah.
keep stopping.
Let me say some shit that makes
No,
sense
because
real quick.
Isaiah keeps
Yeah.
cutting me off on my points. Here, I got a new point.
No, he's not. You stop talking. He didn't cut you off.
I got a new point. all right? I got a new point.
Name
Here's my new
5
point.
players, my ass.
Here's a new point. I can't relate to country music. How about that? And people,
And
who
that's an
can-
okay
and
answer.
people
That's
who
an okay
can-
and honest answer.
People who can relate to country music tend to be the same kind of people that I've always felt like the opposite from. Does that make sense? Growing up, it was the same people who were at the opposite end of a race war of me in high school
Mhm.
that listened to country music. Or it's
I don't think we should call what happened in high school a race war. It was not
it
that.
is it is me and
I
Isaiah
think
talk all
Not
the time.
that.
Nobody
No,
becomes
no,
a
no.
racist, bigoted redneck on accident, right? Like country music doesn't emit disgusting fumes that turn you into a hillbilly. I think that you have to be able to separate the art and the artist from the fan base. I'm sure that somewhere in the world somebody fucks with ICP, but they don't fuck with juggalos or juggalo culture. Somebody fucks with Tupac, but they don't fuck with no, not quite. Somebody fucks. You know what I'm saying? You know what I'm saying? And so I think like, because for me being black from the South, I got called the N-word way more than I'd like to count. Way more recently than you'd imagine. People who are watching. And the fact that my music taste could overlap with somebody who thinks or says things that way, they think that way, doesn't
Listen to
make
this.
what I like less cool.
Your white friends said nigga around you more comfortably more times than anybody ever called you the N word with the ER. Your white friends sat around you and said nigga this, nigga that. And we relate to them just fine. We all have white friends who did that shit. You know what I mean? It was like it's not like fuck them or nothing. It's just fucking.
None of my white friends that were doing that listen to country music, and for me,
with you, bro. Yeah, no, Nick, because you act way too artsy. Like you act way too artsy, and you make some of the weirdest shit I've heard to be someone who's like fuck that about any type of music. Because it seems like
that's exactly who this man is.
That's exactly.
You can't. It contradicts your whole persona.
My whole music persona is I try and make something that like nobody else is doing in the area. And that's been my whole persona, I feel like. And my whole persona mainly has been like I think at least the last year or so, like my flow has overshadowed my beats, I'd assume. I've been switching that.
I'm talking about the nuance and artistic value of what you do. I'm saying for someone who seems to appreciate art as much as you do, it seems weird to be like that. Short-minded toward country music.
I appreciate every single genre. I've stayed this way for years. I fuck with every genre, with the exception of screamo and country music, and I'll die on that hill. I've never changed.
Like my granddad was a racist his whole life. He was for sure black people were scum. No, listen, he was white, but like he was for sure black people are scum. He's like positive, and like imagine that guy just being like, "Well, I got it figured out." And I'm not going to change it. I'm going to die on this hill. But nope, he had black grandkids and he ended up liking black people. Well, you know what I mean? You got to give the shit a try.
Well,
you got to give the shit a good old college try. You can't just be like
LSD.
I did. I grew up listening to it all the time.
Working.
On the radio. My parents would play it. We'd be at school. Motherfucking.
And do you know how you sat while you was listening to that?
Like this.
I hate this shit. I'm so edgy.
No,
this is so stupid. Bro,
I am the same ass, bro. I am the same guy. When my girl was taking me to when I was in the car with my girl for the last show, she brought her friend in the car. Her friend was there, and her friend kept playing music, and the entire time I'm in the back, like, these motherfuckers gonna play this shit while I'm going this TikTok ass music while I'm going to a show. They didn't even realize I need some Kendrick on right now. I need some YG right now. I don't need no motherfucking TikTok rolling down in the deep shit.
Yeah, we're about to get off here in a second.
But yeah, I don't know. I'm kind of in that world of like country music is a little lame.
You're closed-minded to it being okay, and we get that.
Are y'all ready to wrap this up right quick?
Yeah.
I might have to.
Yeah, you all good. Appreciate everyone for tuning in, man. We'll have this up on the YouTube tomorrow. We'll drop the links for all that as well. Appreciate y'all. Like I said, we get to 50.
Country music is like taking a dick in the ass. Don't knock it till you rock it. End of episode, Dance.
Dan doesn't know shit about UT football. Take that jacket off. You're a fucking phony. You're a fraud.
Ooh,
hey, for real, subscribe. Anybody who's here right now, subscribe. Yep. Subscribe to us. Hey, let's get out here and get a thumbnail real quick. Everybody flick off the camera so we can get a thumbnail. Everybody, flick it off, Blake. Get in there. All right, cool. Get your face in it, abstract.
Hold on.
No, we need abstract. Get your face in it.
Hold on. Government names only. Government names only, bro.
Isaiah Finn.
There we go.
Yeah.
Hold it up. Hold it up so I can get a good solid clip. There we go.
Bro, we're all different squares. Just edit out the right square for each.